Yep.
Microphones are on and we are live. Good evening, everybody. Thank you very much for joining us. Let us know if you can hear us and you can see us okay. And welcome to a 3-player tutorial playthrough, more of a playthrough than a tutorial of Stonesaga. I'm joined tonight by Chris
Evening.
and Pete.
Hello.
And we are going to be playing the third challenge today. So Stonesaga is a game from Open L Studios, designed by Max Brooks and Luke Eddy. Max is in the chat, so everybody say hi to Max. And if you have any questions about the game from a design point of view, Max will hopefully be here to answer your questions. What we're going to be doing tonight is we're going to be playing the third challenge. So the whole game of Stonesaga, it is a campaign game and it is divided into 3 epochs. Each epoch consists of 4, 5 or 6 challenges, and think of a challenge as an individual game. And once you've completed a certain number of challenges, you will then move to the next epoch. Tonight, what we're doing is we are doing the challenge called Arrival, which is CA04, and this is the third one that we've done. So we played last week, or the week before, we played the first one, which was a tutorial, and then we played a second one, and now we're playing the third one. There have been a few other YouTube channels that have already covered the tutorial, so if you want to see what this game is like right from the start with the tutorial, then I can recommend Co-op Guild have done one. Also, Derek from Kanji Studios, he's done one. And Meet Me at the Table, they've done one as well. And if you actually want to watch a how to play video rather than a playthrough, then Shay Parker from RTFM has done the official how to play video for the game as well. So shout out to all of the other content creators whose videos I've been watching to help me learn how to play the game. So yeah, the thing that I will tell you about this game is that if you do watch one of those videos where they start playing right from the first challenge, it starts off really simple. And the rules of the game are really simple, and you will learn how to fish, and you'll learn how to mine, and you'll learn how to forage, and maybe do a bit of hunting. And then as soon as you've got to the end of the second game, you're like, there's a lot going on in this game. Now, don't get me wrong, this isn't like a heavy, complex Euro game or anything like that. But the number of things that you can do in the game ramps up massively. And the reason why I'm saying that is I know some people might just watch somebody's first playthrough of the game and think, oh, that's too simple for me. There's not enough going on. And tonight, we're going to be showing you, once we're 2 games in, only 2 games in, and we're going to be showing you what the game has to offer. Bearing in mind, this is as far as I've played. I haven't played beyond this, and we will touch on at the end of this video some of the aspects of this game which I have not even read the rules for yet. So there are more things that you can do in this game. But just to bring you up to speed, let's show you our primal cave wall. This is our primal cave wall. So this is a way that we track the progress of our tribe, because we are a prehistoric tribe. And these marks here are visual indicators of things that we've done. So some games will use like keywords or sentences that you'll write down in a journal, or it will have a big list of things that you tick off when you've done them. Stonesaga uses the primal cave wall, and at various times in the game you are supposed to draw on the things that you've done. So here are the things that we've done. We arrived at the Verdant Vale. This is where we have called home. Chris had a really bad dream, and he dreamt of this. He had this primal vision of this behemoth. Kath, who is now being played by Pete, I think she was asleep at night on a hill, and I think something came down from the heavens and started a fire. So Kath accidentally learned how to make fire. I think you did this.
Yeah.
We invented caravans.
Yeah.
Now this is another whole part of the game that we've not done, but we can move the outpost because we've invented caravans. We can move this outpost, or at least move some of the things in this outpost away. This was me, and I can't remember why I did this. It was a starry night, but something happened.
Yeah.
So various things in the campaign will refer to the primal cave wall and say, if this is on the primal cave wall, this happens, otherwise this happens. So that's a quick history of where we are for now. So let's read the challenge. Arrival. Calamity stalks the valley. A massive behemoth has arrived. The behemoth's cataclysmic passage has transformed the mouth of the valley, sealing the passage your ancestors used to enter and changing many familiar features of the land. In the face of this crisis, you must decide how your society moves forward. And we're going to read 339 in the Codex. The other thing that I do want to mention is at the end of each of these challenges, certainly the two that we've played already, we're given a choice. We choose option A or option B. So this isn't a linear campaign, and therefore it is replayable. Different things will happen each time you play it, depending on the choices that you make. So we chose, one of the options at the end of the previous one was to take it easy and have a rest, or confront the behemoth.
Yeah.
And we chose this one. So we need to read 339, which, to be honest, most of this we've already done. But we've gained 3 lore. We have flipped our starting hex. So this was our starting hex. This is where we were. It was this. And we now flip it over, because this is where the behemoth has arrived. And this is the behemoth's lair. And we've rolled some dice to find out where it goes. And we have chosen this as the behemoth. This is behemoth number 1. That's the one we've chosen. And we then attached another tray. So the land is made up of these trays. And you can see here, this is the tray that was attached. And it comes with 3 face-down tiles. These are all from the Verdant Vale. We just don't know exactly what they are. And one of them has a glacier on it as well. So we've got 2 glacier overlays, and we've got a main hex overlay. I think that was everything on there. So yeah, we've done that. And yeah, that was that. So that was the setup done. You need to go back on the board. And let's talk about our goals. Well, let's talk about our main goal first. So our main goal is this one. Not this one. This one. This one. Here. At the end of any day, if Confront the Behemoth is complete, we read 147. That's pretty much what the objective for this entire challenge is, that we need to have completed the goal, Confront the Behemoth. Now, this is effectively a timer. So this little footprint here, this is called activity, and it's going to go up by 1 at the end of each round. And when it gets to 3, we read something. When it gets to 6, we read something else. When it gets to 9, we read something else. And when we get to 15, it's over. Now, the campaign continues even if you get to here. This isn't like you failed, you're all dead, start again. The campaign will continue, but I suspect that might give us some kind of negative impact on the next one. So we complete this challenge by completing the goal, Confront the Behemoth. Now, we have 5 goals available to us at the moment. 2 of them are ongoing goals. Now, what that means is that we've had them for a little bit, and if we don't do them in this particular challenge, they will stay with us. So one of them is that we need to complete a delve. And I'll give you a clue. We're not going to do that tonight because I've not read the rules on delves. But at some point later in this campaign, we're going to do that. We're going to delve, and that will complete that. Also, this goal is hidden treasures, and we can only complete this goal if we scavenge. And as far as I understand it from the rulebook, we can only scavenge at a particular location that allows us to scavenge. And we've not found one of those yet. So these 2 goals, I don't think we can do at the moment. The 3 goals that we currently have, I'll just show you these on the other camera. If it's going to fit them all on. Yeah, it's going to fit them all on. So the main one is Confront the Behemoth. When a character resolves a contest against the Behemoth, we add +2 if they've got a weapon. And basically, we'll go into this a bit more detail later on, but essentially, just wait for Pete.
Sorry.
Essentially, once we've encountered it, if we reach an apex node, and I'll come on to that more in a minute, if we win, then we can force the Behemoth to flee, and we put an injury token on this card. And once we've got 3 tokens on this card, it is complete. And remember, we need to complete this goal in order to complete the actual aim of what this challenge is. Another goal that we've got now, this is immediate. So what immediate means, I think, is that this is going to disappear at the end of this challenge. If we don't do this challenge is going to disappear. Now, that doesn't mean that we can never seek the omens after that. It's just if we do it at some point during this challenge, we're going to get a bonus. And then the last one is gather stores. Now, this is our most urgent one because it says at any time, a character may place 1 or more food tokens from their inventory onto this card. We don't have to be anywhere, just wherever we are. It can have a maximum of 5 food on it. But at the start of every night, if this goal is not complete, we're going to add unrest. So the population is going to start getting unhappy until we've done this. So this needs to be our main focus at the start. And my first question for Max is just to check, have I got this right with these immediate goals in that if we don't do them, they disappear? Right. So that's the 3 goals. The main objective is that we need to confront the Behemoth. The Behemoth has a card. I'll show you this in more detail later on when we get to it. But our main objective right now is the gather stores, because until we've got 5 food on here, the unrest is going to go up. And our unrest is already at 2. And if it ever gets to... What is it? If it ever gets to 10, or is it 20? It's on the back of the night phase.
20, the night phase. Yes, 20.
20. So if unrest gets to 20, I think our civilization descends into chaos, and I think we do lose the game. Now, the last thing to do when we create the Behemoth... Oh, yeah, 339. Have we done that? The Behemoth arrives. Set up the Behemoth as per page 74 of the rulebook. Yes, immediate goals are removed at the end of the challenge. Thank you. So I'm just going to check that we've done this correctly. We name the Behemoth. Now, we've had a discussion about the Behemoth, haven't we? And we've decided that the Behemoth has a name.
Yeah. Well, we couldn't decide whether it was a Behemoth or a Behemoth.
So
we decided to call him Brian.
We went with alliteration, and we have called Behemoth BH1 Brian.
He's also a very naughty boy.
He's a very naughty boy. The lair hex is VV01. VV01. And we don't know anything about him yet.
No.
And his demeanor is 4, but that's going to go up and down over the course of this chapter. So we'll write it in at the end. Because that Behemoth, or Brian, to give him his proper name, it's going to stay with us for the whole campaign. And it, you know, I don't think we can actually kill it. I don't think so, but I don't know. But it's going to arrive now and again, and we're going to be interacting with it in various things. Brian is not a Behemoth, right? So record the demeanor, prepare the Behemoth's lair. It's alert, so it's either alert or dormant. This one is alert. Reveal the instinct card. Right, so every Behemoth comes with 2 instinct cards. So these are the 2 instinct cards for BH1.
Yep.
Which one? That one? Right, now this is face up. We'll come on to that in a minute. And then it has a secret, which is face down. Okay, so that goes there. So I'm going to show you the instinct card now, so that you see what it is. This is basically how it's going to move around and what it's going to do. So challenge the mighty. So its aim, whenever it wants to go somewhere, it wants to go to the hex containing the most characters. Oh joy. The tread ability is when it moves, it's called it treads. It tests its awareness to tread towards its aim. And if it gets a 13 or more, it moves twice. If it gets a 1 to 12, it moves once. And when this Behemoth enters a hex with its aim, so when it gets to where it's trying to go to, you flip its aim token over and leave it as a trace. Once there are 3 traces in the valley, we read 588. Now, right. I don't know what's going to happen if that happens. But essentially what's going to happen over the course of this challenge is we're going to be placing one of these aim tokens on a hex.
Yeah.
It's then going to move towards that hex. When it gets there, it flips it over.
Yeah. And
then on its next turn, it says, oh, where am I going to go now?
Right.
And once there are 3 traces on the board, we then read that.
Yeah.
I don't know whether that means we lose. I don't know. But these traces are something that we can investigate.
Okay.
So let me just show you this board here. This is the Behemoth board. And you'll see on here, we can study it. So studying it costs 3 lore.
Yeah.
And you study it on a hex where there is a trace.
Right.
So once it's been there, it's left some clues. And essentially, you can find out its secret by doing that.
Right.
That's what happened in our last game. So I think that's what happens in most games. We've also got this curio, clay. Right? So it likes clay.
Yeah.
That's going to affect various points in the game. It's got an affinity, so it likes mountains and dried flats. We'll come on to what that means later. And it also has this. So it's terrified fauna. So this is a feature. This is going to apply to the game. Whenever you forage in a hex that contains the Behemoth or a trace, because the animals are really scared, you actually get 3 cards instead of 2, but you must choose cards with wildlife. So it's a thematic explanation for where it is. The other thing that's on here is the disturbance. We don't need to worry about that now. That will only trigger when something tells us it triggers, right? And I'll explain all of that when we encounter it. We encounter it either on our turn, if you are in the same hex as the Behemoth, you can spend 1 energy to encounter it.
Yeah.
Or after it's moved, if it's on a hex with at least one of us, it encounters us.
Okay.
And if it's a tie, it goes for highest might.
Okay.
So it will prioritize the player with the highest might.
Get in.
Right, I did say there was a lot going on, and you've not seen half of it yet. We are now going to start playing, and we've got 4 energy available because we're playing a 3-player game. If you were playing 1 or 2 players, you'd have 5 energy. Yep, so we've got 4 energy, and we can spend that energy to do a whole host of different actions. We can fish, we can go foraging, we can go mining, we can build shelters, we can gather water, we can craft, we can process resources. There's all sorts of things that we can do. Once we have decided that we've done enough things, and you don't need to spend all of your energy, is we then go into the night phase where we rest, we recover some energy, and we kind of want to eat and drink. You need to either eat or drink, otherwise you start getting really ill, because that's how life works. But the more you rest, the more energy you're going to get back for the next day. And as we've said, at the end of each day, your activity goes up by 1, and when we get to 15, the challenge is over. So we effectively have 15 days to play, although some things can cause the activity to go up higher.
Okay.
And we know that our most immediate goal is that if we don't get 5 food on here by the end of today, the unrest is going to go up, and it's already at 2 because of something that happened last time. I can't remember what.
Kind of got a doubly reason to try and get some food.
And we also want to be, crafting, because we've made some things from last time. So just as a quick summary, Pete's got a lithophone. It's basically like a xylophone, so he can play music at night and make everybody happy. You've also got a riverstone pick, which is going to be good for mining. I was going to give somebody a mallet, wasn't there? Do you want a mallet?
Could do, yeah.
That goes in your pack.
Yeah.
So that's good. I've got a sunstone mallet, and that's all I've got.
Yeah.
Chris has got a riverstone knife, so that's good for fighting with dexterity.
Yeah.
You've got a broom.
Yeah.
So basically, Chris can sweep the streets of
clean up the
Columpton.
outpost,
This is
the
our
outpost,
little outpost here that we've made. And you've got a grinding stone. We've not even used that yet. That's a whole other part of the game that we've not used. So they're the items we've got. Each of us also has a mantle power. So my mantle power is that when I forage, I can flip this tile over, and if I do, instead of first drawing 2 cards and choosing one, I get a card that has animal tracks on. So there's more chance of me finding wildlife when I forage. Pete, do you want to explain what yours does?
When I turn over a journey card, a test on the journey card, I get +2 on that.
Oh, so all tests on journey cards you get +2.
All tests on journey cards I get +2. But also I can use that energy to look at the top journey card, and if I like it, I can put it back. If I don't, I can put it on the bottom.
Okay, and Chris, your mantle power?
So I add +2 to champion tests, and when a character is in my test and would suffer 1 injury or more, I can flip this to ignore one of those
Your
injuries.
hex.
My hex.
Your hex. So when the character is in your hex,
Yeah.
and they would suffer an injury,
Yeah.
you can prevent that injury
Yeah.
Wow.
once per day. Nice. I'm gonna stick with Chris, and I'm gonna jump off some cliffs. Right then. So we know what our we have the little village of Columpton down here. Just so you know, this has got some drying racks where we can store fish and wild game, and it won't go off. We've got some storage containers which are currently empty, and we've also got a workbench where we can go and process materials. All of these things will be explained later on as we do them, but we have built a little outpost down here, which is what this card represents. We can have, I believe, 2 outposts in Epoch 1, so we could build another one somewhere else if we wanted to. Now, where are we? We are here. So we have mountains, and we have mountains.
Yeah.
We have no lakes. We have no forests. So getting food here, not possible.
Whose idea was it to build Columpton?
I think it wasn't me. So we need to be moved, and then thankfully there's some wetlands and some river here. So there is a source of fish here. I would suggest we potentially, if getting food is our main priority, I mean, we could go here, but again, there's no There's no source of food there either.
Well, shall we start by piling into some food and possibly water as well?
I think so. Who wants to go first?
Shall I go first and stick me in there, and and I'll draw a journey card?
Okay, so the way that movement works, one of the actions that you can do in the game is to move, and slightly unusually, movement doesn't cost any energy. Everything else that you do costs energy. Movement doesn't cost you energy, but it might. What you do is you move into an adjacent hex. If it was face down, you would then reveal it straight away, and then after you've moved, you draw a journey card. And that journey card will have some text on it, and sometimes you will be forced to lose energy. Now, that does mean that you can move even if you're out of energy. And this is my top tip. If you're watching this to get an idea of how to play the game, if you've got no energy, you can still move, and sometimes that is the right thing to do. But if you are ever forced to lose energy when you have no energy, you take an injury instead. I believe it's a minor injury, but just be aware, you can move if you have no energy. So, Pete, you draw a journey card.
Okay, do you want to put it over there? So...
No, it's okay.
Okay, right.
Just read through it from the top.
So it says resolve if an alert behemoth with a demeanor 6 or higher.
Okay, well, there is an alert behemoth, but it's only got 4 or higher.
Otherwise, resolve arduous journey.
Right.
So arduous journey.
I will show it on the screen. Now that you've mentioned it, I'll show it on the screen. This is what a journey card looks like. And it always has a trigger at the top. And you resolve it if the condition happens, at which point you do all of this. Otherwise, you resolve arduous journey. And when you're resolving arduous journey, what that means is you look at the hex sides where you went across. If either or both have a terrain across the whole hex side, that means you lose 1 energy. So, for example, if Pete was to now move from here to here and drew this exact same card, that would be an arduous journey because he's had to cross these mountains and he would have to spend 1 energy. As it was, blank hex side, so he doesn't have to spend the energy. So that's the journey card done.
It didn't cost me any energy.
And it didn't cost you any energy, and you have arrived there.
So I just jumped straight into some fishing.
Yeah, so one of the nice things about this game is that there's no turn order. You don't take it in turns and go around the table. Literally anybody can do whatever they want at any time. And what happens, and this actually happened the last time we played, you can get people playing simultaneously. Once you know the game, you can play simultaneously. So, for example, Pete is probably going to go fishing right now. So Pete could do that. Pete could go fishing and play his own little mini fishing game while me and Chris do something else. So this is one of those games where today's playthrough is going to be longer than it would be in real life because we'd actually be taking mostly simultaneous turns. But we're going to watch Pete fish.
Okay.
So when you fish, you've got a choice. You can fish on this tile, either in the wetlands, which is here, or you can fish in the river. And if you're wondering why you would want to fish on one of those different locations, this one, I'm going to show you this. This is the terrain chart, and you can see here that if you fish in the river, then the bonus is extra water, and the penalty is a minor injury. Whereas if you were to fish in the wetlands, the bonus would be either vines or wood, and the penalty would be a malady. So it all depends what extra bonus you want when you're, when you're fishing. So where are you going to fish?
I'm going to fish in the river.
You're going to fish in the river.
Yep.
Right. So the way that the fishing game works, and I'll show you this now, is we've got a deck of fishing cards here. So, in fact, let's zoom out just a little bit. So what's going to happen is we're going to pick one of these cards at random. I'll show you this, and then Pete will do it himself. So we pick one of these cards at random, and that is the left-hand card. And then what we do is we pick another one at random, and it goes here like that. So make sure the text is down at the bottom. Right. Now, what we've got here is I'm going to pick a different one because all of these are 4, and I just want to show something a bit different. There we go. So we've got 3 different currents here. We've got the top current, which goes all the way to here. And if you fish successfully at somewhere along that current, you're going to get 2 fish. We've got the middle current, which will get you 1 fish, and we've got the bottom one that will get you 2 water. Some of them have all sorts of different interesting things on there. But then what's going to happen is you're going to roll 4 dice. And then you will assign those dice to the various strike zones. So what we have is we have strike zones that are space for 1 dice and strike zones that are space for 2. If it's got space for 2, you can put 2 dice in it, or you could just put 1 dice. It's totally up to you. And you don't have to assign all of your dice if you don't want to. But essentially what you're trying to do is you're trying to fish at these different strike zones. So just for this example, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this on here and this on here, because 2 dice together is an 11. That's pretty good. I'm going to put this one here. And in fact, I'll put that one there as well. Right. Once you have assigned your dice, you then draw another card at random and you put it here like this. And now what we've got is we've got the final difficulty for each of the 3 currents. So the first current, the top one, is this black line. That is 6 plus 0, 6. So the difficulty of that current is 6. The next one is also 6 because it's 3 times 2. And the bottom one is also 6 because it's 4 plus 2. Then what you do is you go through each of the strike zones one at a time. So for this strike zone here, this strike zone was only on this black current. And the difficulty was 6. Did we have 6 or more? We did. We had 11, which means we get the 2 fish. Now this means that if we'd failed, we would hit by the penalty. But in this case, we didn't fail, so we wouldn't get hit by the penalty. This one here, this 3 is on this line here. Unfortunately, that is difficulty 6, so we don't get anything for that. Now, I'm just going to show you what happens if I'd have put a 6 here. This strike zone is actually on 2 different currents. So when you are resolving that strike zone, you choose which one it's on. So in this case, we put a 6 on there. We've worked out that the difficulty of that line is 6 and the difficulty of this one is also 6. So we could choose with this one whether we got 2 fish or 2 water. Might sound complicated, but the rulebook's really clear. There is a good example in the rulebook. Hopefully that has given you an idea of how the little fishing mini game works. But what we're going to do is we're going to start off, Pete, with your first fishing game.
We'll do it here or over there.
We'll do it there.
Okay.
I might try and get a preset. Do you want to shuffle them?
Yeah.
I might try and get a preset set up for the fishing game there. No, that didn't work. Let's use this one. But what I'll do is I will rotate it and then move it here. Yeah. No, not here.
That's here.
Here.
We'll go for
There we go.
There we are.
Right. Okay. So here's the fishing game. So
Okay.
pick a card at random.
Okay, so we're going with this one.
Yep. So we flip that over, and that starts off there. Yep, that way up.
Yep. Okay.
Okay. And then you get another one.
And I don't need to make any decisions yet, so
Nope.
let's just grab that one.
And that goes there. And now you roll your dice.
Hmm.
Right. So
Not so good.
how are you going to assign those dice?
Well, we want... Oh, this looks interesting. Sharp stuff. But also there's vines and water down here on a 2. Gosh, that's... so look at this. I'm going to put 7 there.
Yeah.
Because I think that I want that and I want that.
Okay. Well, you can't have both with that one.
No, but that's true, actually. That is true. So I could... where's that one? That one goes through there. Let's go with that.
Mm-hmm. And remember, you don't have to assign all of the dice.
No, so I'm not going to bother with that one.
Yeah. Okay. So now we get another card. Just take the top one.
Yep. And
Flip it on there.
that goes.
Okay.
Now.
So what have we got?
So this is difficult. Top one, the brown line.
It's difficulty
is
3.
Difficulty 3.
Yeah.
The middle one, which I'm not doing, is difficulty
It's 10.
10. Yeah, okay, good job I steered clear of that. And this one
It's
is
5.
difficulty 5.
Okay. So you remember, you resolve each strike zone independently.
Okay, so starting with this strike zone.
No, the strike zone is that. That is a strike zone.
Oh, sorry, starting with this strike zone then.
So you've got a 7, and if you just take the dice off, you can choose either the brown line or the blue line, both of which will work. Yeah, because you had 7 on there.
Well, I think I'm going to go with this one because I get 2 things.
Yeah.
I am going to need water at the end of the turn
So
to
you get some
stay
vines
alive.
and you get some water.
So I put some vines in my store and those.
Yeah.
So that's that one done.
And then that strike zone
That strike
is
zone.
also over both of them.
So I get to choose either food, or I could do this again.
Well, you can't do that one again because the difficulty of this is 5.
Oh, it is, isn't it?
Yeah, difficulty of that is 5, so that won't work.
Right.
Whereas this one,
4 minus
because you
1.
got the -1, this is difficulty 3, so it does work on this current.
Did you notice how I finessed that really
Yeah, I
carefully?
spotted that.
I'm going to get a fish, please.
There you go, you get a fish. And because Pete succeeded in this strike zone, he doesn't get the penalty. If this strike zone had a clover on it, he would have got the bonus.
Oh.
But there you go. That's how fishing works. Now, when you fish, it costs 2 energy. You should have spent the 2 energy first.
Over they go.
But also, what it does is it depletes the hex. So what we do is we take a depletion token and we place it on the hex. Now, it's not placed specifically on the river. It's just placed in the hex. And that represents the fact that the resources in that hex are now depleted. You can still fish, forage, and mine there, but it now costs you 1 extra energy to do that. It only affects fishing, foraging, and mining. It doesn't affect anything else. So we can still gather water, which only ever costs 1 energy, and that isn't affected by the depletion token. Okay. Yes, I've lost my current pointy stick. I had it earlier on, and I'm now not sure where it is. Oh, there it is. Yeah, thank you. Yes, got my pointy stick. Right, so we've got some food at least.
Yeah.
We could potentially go here and fish. It would cost 3 energy. Or could potentially go up here
And forage.
and forage and see what we get.
Yeah.
But it would mean travelling twice. Shall I journey to here first? I'll journey to here first.
Yeah.
And we'll see what we get.
Happens.
Lonely path. Resolve if you are alone. I'm not alone.
Yeah.
In which case, resolve arduous journey. It's not. Perfect. Right. Which means I'm going to travel again. And don't forget, Pete, you can do your thing to look at the top card.
Oh, yes.
Right. Resolve disorienting fog. Despite your claims to the contrary, you are quite lost. So I need to test my awareness. Okay. So each character has 4 attributes, which were rolled at the start of the game. They have might, dexterity, conviction, and awareness. Now, my character is called average because I rolled a 4 for each one. And I'm having to test awareness. Tests are really simple. You roll a d6 and you add whatever attribute you've got. If you roll a 6, you keep it and you roll again and you add on. So I've rolled a 3 onto my 4. I have tested 7 for awareness. Oh dear, that's the worst result possible. Add +2 if you have a map. No.
Mm-hmm.
And add an extra 4 if there's an outpost in your hex.
Mm-hmm.
No. You end up in an unexpected place, lose an energy, and flee. So whenever you flee, you end up in a random adjacent hex. So basically, I've got completely lost, and we're now going to roll 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to see where I end up. 2. I actually can't go there, so I'm going to re-roll again because this is impassable. 3. So I've ended up here, but
That's right.
fleeing, you don't draw a journey card.
Oh, okay.
So I've basically ended up. That's fine.
That's
Yeah.
okay.
That's absolutely fine.
You can do some fishing there.
I can. Shall I do some fishing?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to go fishing.
Might as well.
Right, let's show this on the big screen. Right, so my first card is this one, and my second card is this one. Right, okay, so let's roll me some dice.
That's all the 4s as well.
I like 4. 4 is actually my favourite number. Right, okay. Although I've all rolled all 4s. I'm just kidding. Right, so what we're going to do. It's a lake that I'm fishing in. Yeah, 4. I kind of want to be... I like the top result. Top result's good. So I think I'm going to put the 5 and...
You got a bonus on the clover.
I do, but the chance of me getting that is slim. If that comes out at a +1, then I might... The problem is, if I put the 5 here and the 4 there, and that comes out at like a 6 or a 7, I get nothing.
Yeah.
But the chance of that getting high and that getting high it might work. That's a bit of a risk. I think because we've got the time limit, I think that is the safest result. And there's no point in me putting a 1 here because the biggest benefit is a -1. It doesn't go down below 1. So, I mean, I tell you what, I'll put them in here just for a laugh. But it's not going to work. It is not going to work. Right, and the final card is, oh, look at that. So all of the difficulties are 6. Again. So everything is difficulty 6, which means that doesn't do anything. This does, and it's on the blue current, so I get 1 water and 1 fish. There you go.
It's all right.
1 water and 1 fish. That'll keep me fed, but actually, yeah, that's now depleted. So my plan is to put that food on the card and just drink tonight. So as long as you either eat or drink, you're not going to get ill. Chris, do you want to do something?
Yeah. Will I go and try and do what you tried to do and go here and maybe do some foraging for some stuff?
Yeah.
To show something different. So I'll move into this hex.
We have a journey card.
Resolve if you have 2 or fewer energy, otherwise resolve arduous journey.
Nope, so you're okay.
That's okay.
Twilight glow.
And then
you're going to journey again.
I'm going to journey into this hex. Resolve if your hex has a forest.
Your hex has a forest.
Yeah.
Is it the growling in the night?
Yeah.
Hey.
It's a whispering shrub, actually.
Oh, it's a whispering shrub.
Yeah. You hear susurrations from a nearby brush. Could they be human voices? So test this one.
Dexterity.
Dexterity.
Now, don't you get a bonus? You get a bonus to champion tests. Is it a champion test? Does it say champion?
It's a mystery.
Okay, it's a mystery.
Test dexterity to approach quietly, +2 if you're cunning, which I'm unfortunately not.
Okay.
And you can spend law to add 4.
So you've rolled a 1
So
plus your dexterity of 4.
4, so that's 5.
5. That's the worst result possible.
You approach and find nothing disturbed. You continue on your journey, lose 1 energy.
Okay, that's not too bad.
Too bad.
Could have been worse.
Yeah, we did go through the mantle powers at the start of the video. We'll mention them again as we're doing them.
Yeah.
Do you want to go foraging?
Yes, I'll go foraging.
Right. So the way that the foraging works is we're foraging in the forest. So we use the forest deck of cards. And what's going to happen is you will shuffle the deck of cards. It costs you 2 energy.
Yep.
And we deplete the hex.
Yep, I can do
And then what's going to happen is that we're going to draw 2 cards. So we draw 2 cards to start with. And you choose which one of those 2 cards you want. Now, the predator is generally a bad thing. So my personal preference, and this might be affected by what's on the card, is that you wouldn't choose the predator to start with. Now, you can stop there if you want, and you can go foraging and you can get some stuff. But what normally happens is you will push your luck, you will continue, at which point you will draw 2 new cards. Now, when you draw 2 new cards, if you already have a predator on here, then you must choose one with a predator. If you don't have a predator in your tableau, you can choose either one. So here, for example, there's a predator there, but we don't have to choose that one. We can choose this one. So we choose that one, and then we go again. And every time we're shuffling the card back in. So we go again, and we still don't have a predator. And then we draw 2 cards, right? And again, I don't have to choose the one with the predator, so I'm not going to. We put it in there. And you keep going like this until you choose to stop or you get the card with the predator at the front. Now, remember, if I was to draw that now, because I currently don't have a predator in here, I just choose the other one. But if I already had this card, which is a predator, and then I carried on and I drew these 2 cards, because I already have a card with a predator, I must choose the card with the predator, and you must choose the one that's as far forward as possible. If you draw that one, you end up fighting the predator, and you either fight it and get beaten up or kill it, which is really hard to do, or you run away. But what normally happens is you actually choose to stop. When you choose to stop, you then have a choice of what is it that you want to forage. And each card is divided into 3 sections. You have the foreground, which is this bit here. You have the middle ground, which is here. And then you have the background, which is here. There are 5 main objects that you can forage. There are trees, there are nut bushes, there are streams, there are root plants, and what you can't see on here, but there are also, and he says, looking for other ones. It's not here, it's in the prairie. In the prairie, you'll find grain fields, but there's none on here. So you can only forage 1 type of object, but then you can forage up to 3 of those objects as long as they are within reach. So let's say, for example, you really wanted nuts. You would get 1 nut from this. There's no other nut bush. Well, there is a nut bush here, but it's in the background. So you can only forage something in the background if you've also foraged something in the middle ground. And you can only forage something in the middle ground if you forage something in the foreground. So here, if you chose nuts, you'd get 1. You couldn't have that because there wasn't one in the middle. You could not choose the root plant because there isn't one in the foreground. So you couldn't choose that. What you'd probably want to do in this situation is you'd probably choose trees, because there's a tree in the foreground here, and there's one in the midground here and here, and there's one in the background, and there's one in the background there. So there's actually 6 trees in total, but you can only ever forage 3 objects maximum. Why would you choose one tree over another? Well, if you look carefully at the artwork, there are bonus objects on some of the trees. So this tree here is covered in vines. So if you chose to forage from this tree, not only would you get the wood from the tree, you'd also get the vines. If you chose this tree, you'd get a feather. If you chose this one, you'd get 2 mushrooms. If you chose this one, you'd also get some vines. So here, for example, I'd probably go with this tree to get the wood and the feather, this tree to go for the wood and the 2 mushrooms, and then maybe also this tree to get the wood and the vines. But it's up to you how you do it. Your other option, instead of foraging for objects, is that you can go hunting. And what you're looking for is you're looking for large animals or small animals. In order to hunt a large animal, you need to be able to find tracks leading to that animal, which there is. Here's the tracks in the foreground. Then there's the tracks in the midground. So this is a target. You could actually try to kill this. Small animals, you can do 1, 2, or 3 of them, but large animals you can only do 1. And if you want to, you can actually attack the predator. But again, it follows the same rules. You would need tracks in the foreground, then in the midground, and then in the background. Again, the rulebook is very clear on this, and there is an example in there, but that has given you an idea of how it works. So off we go. Chris is going to go foraging, and we have the preset. So here you go. So out of those 2, you can choose whichever one you want.
Let's go with that one.
So that doesn't have a predator.
Nope.
So you are free to choose whatever card you get next.
Of those 2. So with that one.
Okay.
For options, this.
So they both have a predator on,
Yeah.
but it's in the middle.
Yeah.
So you can freely choose whichever one you want.
So I think we'll pick that one.
Oh, there's some root plants there. Okay. Now, if you want to go again and you draw the card with the predator in the front, it's over and you have to fight the predator.
I think I'm going to stop there.
So what do you want to do? What are your options? You can't forage trees because there's no tree in the foreground. You can't forage nut bushes.
No.
You could forage streams, so you could get water with a fish and then water here.
Yep.
Or you've got root plants.
I think probably go for root plants to get more.
So there's a root plant here in the foreground, which means you can then harvest both of those, or one of those and one of those. It's up to you.
Yeah.
Either way, you're foraging for 3 root plants. And that is a semi-hidden bonus object of a sunstone.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll do that then.
So Chris has found 3 roots. So these are food items that will decay over time, and you found a bonus item of a sunstone, which is this one.
Nice.
Now, you'll notice that each of us has an inventory that's shaped like a pack. Your limit only applies in the night phase. So during the day, you can exceed that limit. You're allowed to have any number of items, but pretty much at the end of the night phase, you can only store what you can physically fit into that gap. It is a dual layer board, but you've managed to fit everything in now.
Yep.
Excellent. Well, that is food. So between us,
Shall we do it?
we have 5 food, thanks to Chris's amazing foraging attempt.
Well done, Chris.
So, shall we do it?
Yeah.
At any time, a character may place 1 or more food tokens, processed or unprocessed, from their inventory on this card. Maximum of 5. Doing it. Right, and this goal is completed at the end of any day when this card has 5 tokens on it.
Yep.
Okay, so at the end of the day, before we go into the night, we can complete that goal.
Okay.
Okay, I think initial mission success. Energy. I've got 1 left.
I've got 2 left. No.
I need to get some kind of either water or food.
Well, you could just spend 1 energy to get water.
But I'm not in that.
Oh, you're here.
And yeah,
Ah.
I'd have to move and then do it.
So we got 2 options here. I could spend my 1 energy to get 2 water from here. But then if I then journey to here to give Chris some of that water, I might have an arduous journey and I'll get an injury.
I mean, I could journey to you, could do that, and I could journey.
Oh,
to
you could come to me.
because I've got 1 energy. Then whatever happens, and then
Were you going to do something with your
you
spare
can
energy
kind
Well,
of-
I was thinking about using one of them to check the journey card
for next time?
for next time. Yeah.
Sure. So one of the things that you can do if you are on a hex
I mean,
with
if I did
water.
if I did it now, I could eliminate the risk of
Yeah.
either of you with your movement.
Okay, so you do that while I gather water. So gathering water is really easy. You spend 1 energy on a hex that has water. It doesn't deplete it, and it isn't affected by the depletion token, and you simply just get 2 water. And that is mine. And if Chris is nice to me, I will give him some of my water.
Is there a chasm or a cave in
There
here?
is not a chasm or a cave.
Okay. So in that case, whoever draws this is going to be resolving an arduous journey.
Which is
So
possibly better than the whatever the other stuff is. Maybe.
no, you'd be better off if there was a chasm or a cave.
Okay. Well, do you want to?
But there isn't a chasm or a cave. So should I put it at the bottom?
It's Chris's choice.
What do you want, Chris?
I've got a energy to spend because then you can just freely exchange food
Mm-hmm.
and water, can't you? So even if I end up spending an energy to move there, it doesn't really.
So you're happy with that card on top?
Is it gonna?
Means if you move, it's gonna cost you an energy.
Yeah. Is that going to be better than what the potential is?
We don't know what that is. That could
that's the
be-
thing,
If
the
it
next
was
one
me,
could be.
I'd put this on the bottom. But,
Okay.
But you decide.
Yeah, go for it. Put it on the bottom.
Put it on the bottom.
We'll
Yeah.
see if it.
Right. So now Chris is making the journey through the forest
Yeah.
towards me. I'm shouting, "I got some water."
Resolve if your hex has a cave, forest, or prairie.
No.
Okay.
So arduous journey.
Otherwise, resolve arduous
Okay.
journey.
So you lose
So,
1 energy.
Yeah,
We're fine.
that's all right.
So as Chris was just saying, food and water you can freely exchange between characters on the same space. That is only for food and water. Any other materials or items that you've got, you can either wait till the night phase when you can transfer them between characters for free, or one character spends 1 energy and then you can transfer them. But as it is, food and water can be transferred for free. Are we happy with how today has ended?
Yeah.
I think
So
so.
we've got no energy left. Pete's got 1 energy. What it does mean is that me and Chris are not going to recover all of our energy, but that's fine. That is the end of the day. Before we go to the night phase, we resolve this goal. You've managed to create a stockpile of food for the lean times to come. So the flavour of this was your population has grown since the days of the arrival. To make it through the coming winter, you must gather a stockpile of food. And that's exactly what we've done. So if there are more vegetables than meat, so grains, nuts, roots, or mushrooms,
Yeah.
yes. So there are more vegetables than meat, which means we complete this goal, return all of these tokens, and we get the herbalism card to our new goal. So we get a new goal, which is, let's just find it. Herbalism. Okay, so this is a new goal that we've just gained, which says, there are fascinating new kinds of flora that flourish in the valley. Expand your knowledge by sampling as many as possible. So at any time, a character may place one or more vegetable food tokens from their inventory on this card. Additionally, a character can perform the following action. 1 energy, test awareness, study the flora. Add +1 to your result for each different food type on this card. And depending on what we roll, well, we need an 11 more to complete the goal.
Right.
Okay, and when we complete this goal, we flip it over. So basically, we are learning about the vegetables and stuff that's in this valley. So 1 goal gone, new goal arrived. Yeah, okay, interesting. So that's complete. And what you're supposed to do, that is GA03. You are supposed to track all of these in your journal. So we are on, so goals completed, GA03. Right. Awesome. Now we go into the night phase. So the night phase consists of how many steps?
9.
9 steps. Step number 1 is anybody dead. Essentially, as well as the energy track, you also have an injury track, or you call it malady. Yeah, maladies, which are either injuries or what's the other one? Disease or whatever.
Yeah, major.
Yeah, if you've got 4 tokens on here, then you are incapacitated. If nobody helps you during the day, you now die. Now, what that means is that you roll up a new character. Characters are going to die over the course of the campaign, but that's not a nice way to go. Thankfully, none of us have got any injuries. Step 2, recovery.
Recovery. So we get 1 for free.
We get 1 for free because we're a 3-player game. If you are watching other people's playthroughs and they get 2, that's because they're playing solo or 2-player. If you're playing solo or 2-player, you get 2 energy back.
And then you get an extra 1 for consuming 1 food.
I'm not going to consume food.
I'm choosing not to.
I don't have any to consume.
And then you get an extra 1 for consuming 1 water.
Yeah.
Which I'm going to do.
And then you would get an extra 1 if your hex has got a shelter or fire.
Nope.
But we've moved away from that.
We have.
Step 3, hunger and thirst. Nobody's consumed food and water.
So if you consumed food and water, then if you had a minor injury or basically one of your malady tokens gets better. But we didn't.
But if you don't consume any food or water, you'd suffer a malady.
Yeah. Yeah. You get ill, you get one of those, I believe, if you don't suffer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you don't eat food and water, you get one of those.
No.
Is it one of those or is it a big one?
I think it's a little.
It's a little one, is
I
it?
think so, yeah.
So it's just a single bone, not a broken one.
Oh, it's a bone.
It's a bone.
Oh, it's an injury,
Yeah,
not a malady then.
it's an injury.
So
Oh,
you
yes,
get that.
That, yeah.
If you don't eat or drink, you get one of those. Okay.
Perform night actions. So
Yeah.
if you've got ZZZ on a card.
So certain items that we have night actions. Like Chris has got
Yeah.
a broom, so if he was here in the outpost, he could sweep the streets.
And that's actually useful because it reduces the unrest.
It does,
Yeah.
but you're not there.
It could reduce the unrest. It doesn't necessarily, depending on how terribly I roll.
Yeah, one of my favourite parts of this game is that if Chris rolls badly, his broom breaks and unrest goes up
Yeah.
because all the people are there laughing at him. I mean, I'm saying that as somebody who bought a broom about 6 months ago and then broke it within a week. So it's a realistic game. Now, Pete, you also have a night action.
Okay, I have a night.
You've got your lithophone.
I have it. I've got and I've got an extra mallet to play it with there.
Play something we know.
Well, the thing is, each character in my hex gains 1 improvement.
Is that you?
Well, the thing is, they've all heard my music.
Yeah.
So you gain a boost
Yeah.
to your conviction.
Yeah.
So the next time Pete does a conviction test, he gets +1.
And everyone else has got their fingers in their ears.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Any other nighttime
I think
stuff?
that's it.
I could grind something.
Okay.
choose one material token from your inventory, then read the corresponding entry in the grinding results section.
I mean,
of
we've
the
not
codex.
done this yet.
Come on, it's got to be done.
Do we want to?
Grind something. Go on.
I'm happy to.
Yeah,
Grind some clay or...
clay,
Well,
So yeah, this is a part of the game we've not done before.
unstoned clay.
the clay is the is the curio though of Brian. So it might be that we might want that later.
What about the vines?
Or the,
Yeah,
well, what's that?
Or the
The
sunstone?
sunstone. Go on, grind the sunstone.
Yeah, if we've done it, we're going to use it for anything
So
else.
how does that
we can
work?
Try. So, read the corresponding entry in the grinding results section of the codex.
Does it tell me what page that's on?
It does not.
Oh,
Sorry.
Right, grinding results. They are in here somewhere.
I think it was relatively near the back, if I can remember from.
There is an index. I'm just being stubborn and trying to find it.
Oh.
No, I'm going to look in the index. Right, grinding results. Pages 191 to 193. And there are going to be spoilers in this playthrough. If there are things that you don't want to know, then cover your ears. But I don't think this is that much of a spoiler. So you're grinding sunstone.
Yeah.
A colourful pigment created from natural materials that can be used to paint the cave wall or decorate meaningful objects. Discard the sunstone, and we gain pigment item card IT62.
Oh, you've discovered interior design.
Excellent.
Done. Just have to draw in black now.
I think that's what you've done. Right, IT62.
Okay, so we've got pigment. This item can be used in crafting as if it was a material token.
Wow.
Discard the sunstone, gain pigment item IT62. Record on the recipes page of the journal that you have discovered an orange pigment. Okay, so recipes page of the journal. I'm going to put it on here. Orange pigment. Now, what that means is you can now use an orange coloured pencil when drawing on the cave wall. Excellent. So the game does come with, I don't know where I've put them, but the game does come with other coloured pencils for when we draw on the cave wall. We can now draw with an orange pencil.
Cool.
That is cool. I like that. Right. So you've done, no wonder I can't sleep. Chris is busy grinding the stones.
I'm not sweeping, I'm grinding.
Right. Next night phase. What do we do next?
Night action. Right. Next, degrade tokens degrade.
Yeah. So any food items, if we'd have had those roots or fish, they would have flipped over to the other side as they start to decay.
Gone a bit manky.
And then these come off.
Yep. Degrade those, and then 10 fire, but we haven't got fire.
There's no fire.
But if we did, we'd be throwing wood on it to keep it going. Reconcile inventory, so we can swap things.
Yeah. And this is where everything now must fit in.
Yeah.
So is there anything I've got that you want or vice versa?
Don't know. I've got I can either drill or... Oh, that's actually the only thing I can
Just
do.
a thought.
You have that
Great
because
thoughts.
you've got a knife which you can use to process
Yeah.
that vine.
I'm just thinking, what might you want to grind next night? Next night.
Wood?
Have we got anything that you might want to grind that you haven't got already?
Maybe wood.
Yeah.
There you go.
So you can always use wood for these as well.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay.
so that's okay. Reconcile inventory. Resolve night cards. Each character
so
draws and resolves a night
We
card.
have a big deck of night cards. These are shuffled at the start, and we each get a night card.
Do you want to go first?
I'll go first, and I'll show you this on the screen. So this is my night card. It is a champion hazard.
Oh,
Resolve if your hex has a cave, chasm, or mountain. No. Otherwise, resolve Tranquil Night. Now, Tranquil Night is really good. It basically means you get an energy.
oh,
If you already have full energy, you get a boost to an attribute of your choice.
nice.
So that's me done.
Yeah. Go on, Chris. You're gonna have a nice one as well.
The group hazard.
Oops.
Resolve turning new leaves. The spread of your population to new parts of the valley can lead to unexpected results. Resolve the corresponding effect below based on population.
Population is 10.
Okay, so place a depletion token in your hex and a mystery token in a randomly selected adjacent hex.
Okay, so we have 15 mystery tokens included in the game, 3 for each of the 5 omens, and we get a random one, and it goes either 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Would it go in that
It
one?
would go in that one but we can't get it. There. So whenever we move into there, we flip that token over, and we must confront the mystery.
And that one goes on the top of the.
No, there were these little symbols on the bottom.
Yes, that is the current omen. Let's just show you that. Well, actually, we'll show you that after you've done yours.
Okay. Right, knight. This is going to be good.
Is it?
Yeah.
You get eaten by wolves.
Behemoth solo. Resolve if there is a lair in your hex or an adjacent hex. Otherwise, resolve Tranquil Night.
There is a lair in an adjacent hex.
Oh, rats.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay, so I don't get Tranquil Night. I don't get an extra energy. Instead, I get Sigil of the Strange. Under glistening moonlight, you find a pile of carefully arranged stones. Choose one and resolve it. So I can dismantle the pile, I can closely observe it, or I can leave a sign. Leaving a sign means discarding 3 minerals, which I can't. Oh, I could do.
They are minerals.
I've got 3 minerals, so I could do that, but I'm a bit protective of those. I could closely observe if I am attuned and wise.
You are not attuned.
Am I
and you are
attuned?
not wise.
No. So I'm kind of distracted and stupid.
Yeah.
So dismantle. I'm going to kick it over. Dismantle it. Gain 3 mineral materials in any combination.
Ah.
But oops. Sorry.
Oh, what have you done?
Sorry about this, guys. Aggravate the demeanor of each behemoth with a lair in your hex or an adjacent hex by 1.
So the behemoth gets slightly
He's
angrier.
annoyed by the fact that I've kicked over his pile of stones.
Yeah. But you get 3 mineral materials
Okay.
in any combination.
Wow. And those mineral the options are.
Clay, cloudstone, sunstone, or riverstone.
Well, I'm going to go with clay, clay, and
Riverstone is, I think, good. We don't have any riverstone
in
at
that
the
case,
moment.
just 1 clay and 2 riverstones, please.
On Riverstone.
Yeah.
Because riverstone we've used to make axes
Tools
and
stuff.
tools and things.
Yeah.
Awesome. This sounds interesting.
I love it.
Okay.
Now, Pete just mentioned the fact that these night cards have omen icons on. So let me just show you this briefly. So at the bottom of the night card, which is currently on top of the discard pile, this is the current omen. Now, this is relevant in a number of ways. First of all, you know that mystery token that we put on here? Well, when we move on to that hex, there is going to be an omen on the other side of that tile. And if it matches the current omen, which is here, then we would read something in a storybook. Otherwise, we just get 1 lore. But also, where's the knowledge? We have this knowledge card. This knowledge card says that if we are ever, once per day, a character can investigate an omen. So if we ever see this icon on any game component, apart from this, because it's there, but if we see this icon somewhere else, it could be hidden in the artwork or wherever, then we get to investigate it. But only if this card is there. So if we were to see a cloud somewhere, it wouldn't work. But we are on the lookout for today for this icon. And it could literally be on any game component that has an ID. It could be on a foraging card. It could be on a fishing card. It could be on the board. It could be wherever. So keep an eye out for that icon. And if you see that icon, shout, because it interrupts whatever you're doing. So, for example, if you see it while you're in the middle of foraging, it stops the foraging attempt. And this takes precedence.
Okay.
So you don't have to follow it if you don't want to,
Right.
but it does interrupt whatever it was
Okay.
that you're doing. And don't we have a goal? We have a goal. Seek the omens. The great signs of the sky exist in the world all around you. At any time during their turn, a character can investigate an omen sign depicted on an art of a game component with an ID. See page 61 for the rules. If we do that, we complete this goal. So we are going to get a bonus if we do it.
Yeah.
And this is an immediate goal, so it's going to go at the end of this challenge if we don't do it.
Okay.
Right. We're almost there.
Well, I've got loads of stuff that
We've
I
got
want to do.
the last step of the night phase.
Oh, yes, sorry.
Is we increase the activity.
Increase the activity.
Yep.
Resolve any challenge events if we get to them.
So activity has gone up by 1. The activity needs to be 3 for us to resolve the first value event.
Check population. Is it 0?
No.
That would be bad.
That would be bad.
Check restlessness.
Is it 20?
Is it 20?
No.
That would be bad.
Okay.
So that's the end of the night phase. And then before...
The designer has made a comment about you knocking over brine stones.
Sorry.
And then,
Worked hard on that
because we have an alert Behemoth,
Yes.
Behemoth, whichever, we now resolve it.
part. Okay.
So the first thing we need to do is we need to place its aim on the board.
Oh.
And its aim is the hex containing the most characters. So that's where Brian is trying to get to.
Okay.
Then it treads. So he tests awareness. So roll the dice and add 10. 4. So 14. So it treads twice.
Oh.
Okay? Now, there is a way that you determine, if it was only moving once, there is a way to determine where it goes first. In this case, it doesn't matter because it goes there and then here.
Yep.
Right. Now, 2 things are now going to happen. It has arrived at the hex where it has its trace. Sorry, where it has its aim. So what that does is it flips this over and that is now a trace. It's been here and we can now examine that.
Okay.
And if there is ever 3 of those on the board, then we're going to read some text. But the next thing that happens is it encounters one of us, and it encounters the player with the highest might. So out of us 2, I have 4.
I've got 6.
Okay, so we have an encounter with the Behemoth. There's 2 ways that you can encounter the Behemoth. There's one of them, which is voluntarily. So if you are in the hex with it, you can spend 1 energy to voluntarily engage with it. Or if at this point after its movement, it engages with you. So it's time to explain how this works. What's going to happen is we look at the current demeanor, and it was 5 because Pete kicked over its pile of stones.
Yep.
Sorry.
So what we're going to do is we're going to take Chris's miniature and we're going to start it here, where if the demeanor is between 3 and 6. Then Chris, you're going to choose, you're basically climbing up the Behemoth because it's big. This is it.
Yeah.
It's absolutely huge. And you're trying to climb up it. The idea is we're trying to get to one of these apex nodes.
Yep.
Because if we get to an apex node, because of this goal here, then we can cause it to flee. We put a token on this card, and if we do this 3 times, this goal is complete. So that's what we're trying to do.
Yeah.
You can choose to either vault up, which means we'd move to here, or clack stones. So what this means, if you go this way, is I believe, and again, Max will correct me if I'm wrong on this, this needs to be the current omen.
Yeah.
If it's not the current omen, you lose an energy. If you don't have energy, you take an injury.
Yeah.
Or you clack stones. You just need to have that. If you've
Yeah.
got a tool that does that, then you've done that. Or you lose 1 energy. Once you've done either of those 2 things, so say you do this one, or let's say you do this one, you then go here.
Yeah.
And you get to this, which means you need that type of tool or you lose an energy.
Yeah.
Right? Once you've done that, you can either go here or here. You keep going along here until you either reach an exit,
Yeah.
or you resolve some story text, that's an exit as well, or you resolve some story text that tells you to end the encounter.
Yeah.
But our goal is to try and get to one of the apex nodes, and then I believe, is it get a success? Yeah, and win the contest. Now, these contests, you'll notice it's your conviction versus its conviction, but it doesn't roll a dice.
Yeah.
So you will be rolling a d6 and adding your conviction. Its conviction is 13.
Yeah.
Or this one is dexterity versus its awareness, and its awareness is only 10.
Yeah.
Okay? So there's a whole host of things.
And if there's a combat, you'll be getting some bonuses because of weapons.
Yes, because of... where was that? That was printed on here. Whenever a character resolves a contest against a Behemoth, they add +2 if they have a weapon. And you do have a weapon.
Yeah.
So you're going to get a +2 on any of these contests.
Right.
So again, it's like another little mini game. But you start here. So what would you like to do? Would you like to vault up or clack stones?
Have you got clackstones?
I do, but then where I go after that's more difficult.
No, you don't
I
have.
think I do.
Oh, you do.
Oh, you
there.
do. You've got your
Yeah.
grinding stone.
But do you lose that, or do you just have to
I
check?
don't believe you lose it. I think you just need to have it. Again, I'll look to the chat to see if we've got that correct.
I'm going to lose energy.
I don't
the
think
way
you
either
lose it.
way,
You're
so
going to lose energy, but if you go that way,
this
it's
is
quicker. It's a shorter cut.
It's
to
also
there.
that's better for me to get to there because it's that versus that, which is actually
Yeah.
Right, nodes are resolved in different
Yeah.
ways. Many nodes require a character to meet certain requirements or pay costs, like spending energy, which is now losing energy rather than spending. So yeah, I don't believe you need to lose it. Yeah, you just need to have it,
Yeah.
which makes thematic sense because you're not giving it something. You're just clacking the
So
stones
you
together.
could go
think
pop
going
that way
that way
for
is the
free,
best
but
way.
you're going to lose energy there, and then you're going to be up here.
my might's better, and then my which one's that one again? Conviction's better, but then so is the
But you're going to have +2 on both
so-
of those rolls.
yeah.
Which way are you going to go?
I think this way.
Okay, so you're going to clack stones. You've got a grinding stones.
Yeah.
So that's fine.
Yeah.
You go to here. You either need a pick type object
Which I
or
don't.
you lose an energy.
So I'll lose energy.
And then where are you going to go after here? You're going to go there or
I
there?
think here.
So might versus.
Might versus its awareness.
Awareness.
So you do a might check, but you get +2 because you've got a weapon.
Yeah.
So you're a 6, +2, so you're at 8, 10. Versus its
Oh.
10.
10.
So do you have to beat it? or-
Oh, good question. Good question. Let's have a look. Do you have to beat it? It requires the character to resolve a contest. See below. Contests. It's like a test. Compare your result to one of the Behemoth's attributes. To resolve the contest, you roll the die, add the attribute. Equal to or higher, you win.
Oh,
Oh.
Yay.
Nice.
Well done.
we always had faith in you.
So you won.
Yeah.
So you can now leap to the top and you go here. Right, you are at the apex node. So it's conviction versus conviction.
Okay.
So 5
5 plus
+2.
your 2, you're at 7 versus its 13.
Oh.
Oh.
Ah.
Oh!
Look.
Wow. That's not just a 6.
Oh, it's they're
Oh, yes, they're
Yeah.
exploding 6s.
Every time you roll a die with a 6, you keep that 6. You don't need this.
No.
But you roll again and add on.
Just enjoy the moment.
No,
Nope.
I missed. But
It's a 1.
a
It
1.
doesn't matter.
yeah.
Doesn't matter. So you've rolled a 7, 8, 9, 13,
Yeah.
which is the 13 you needed. Yeah?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yep.
5, 6,
Um,
7. No, 14.
Well, it's 40. It's 14.
It's 14.
You've got that. So,
Okay,
Yeah.
so you've won the contest, which means we're going to read a bit of narrative, but also after a character encounters a behemoth, if they reached an apex node and won the contest, you can force it to flee. So after we've done that,
Yeah.
you can force it to flee. If they do, aggravate its demeanor by 2, place an injury token on this card, and then I believe it flees to a random hex.
Yeah.
And once we've got 3 tokens on this
So we
card,
want to try and get stuff
this
on that
goal
as
is
well, aren't
complete.
we?
Oh,
Right, okay.
wow.
Exciting stuff. So, this is 28. And just for those people watching who think, oh, this is a campaign game with narrative, it's going to be the same every time you've played it. Me and Pete played this exact scenario this afternoon, and this has already gone very differently from this afternoon. So, it is replayable. Obviously, the first time you go through it, you're going to have the new exciting stuff.
Somebody in the chat pointed out differences in the way what happened when they
Oh,
played.
what happened when they played it
Yeah.
as well? Yeah. Right, 28. You hurl yourself towards the behemoth's craggy brow to deliver a precise, stunning blow to its forehead. The behemoth shudders and stumbles, its head brushing close to the ground. You leap off safely. End the encounter, aggravate the behemoth's demeanor once, and degrade all of its boosts. So if it had any boosts, it would have degraded them all.
Yeah.
Do you want to force it to flee?
Where you put
I mean, it is the
Yes.
goal.
Yeah.
It's a goal.
So
yeah,
its
I
demeanor
think,
goes
yeah.
up by 2. So it's 8. We put an injury on here.
Yeah.
And I believe we roll to see where it goes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's fled to here. Okay. Now that was after it moved.
Yeah.
But that is the end of the Behemoth's
Yep.
phase.
So now it's day phase.
Now it's
right?
daytime. So, Chris, what did you get up to last night?
Well.
Because I had a really good night's sleep. I was just lying here.
I played some music.
I had this dream that there was this big monster attacking us, but
Yeah.
it must have been a dream.
Whereas I'm really tired because I ground some stuff up and then got attacked by a monster. I didn't even want to.
So I'm going to draw something on the cave wall of me sleeping while Chris
Hit it in the
fights.
forehead.
You literally punched it in the forehead. Okay. So our objective for today is to keep Chris alive by, like, fishing or
We
whatever.
need to give him fish and water.
Now,
food
just
and water, don't
how much lore
I
have we
can
got?
just get water.
we? Ooh,
We
3.
have 3 lore.
Yeah.
Remember what we can do if we have 3 lore and we are on a location with one of its traces.
Oh, investigate the trace.
We can
Yeah.
study.
Study. Ooh.
Do we
That's
want to do
exciting.
that?
We've got to, really, haven't we?
Yeah.
Why is this
I think
depleted?
so.
Oh, because something
Because of
happened.
my either night or journey, I can't remember which one it was, but it was
Okay.
one or the other.
I hesitate to say Chris was grinding in the night because that might mean something different.
But he totally was. Did it cost energy then to do that?
No, you
No, it
do
didn't.
it as an you can spend energy to do it or do it as a night action.
Oh, okay. So you can do it during the day.
Yes,
Isn't
you
it?
do it during
Right.
the day. It costs you energy.
Okay. Right.
Okay.
Well, I think I'm going to go fishing,
Yeah.
which is going to cost me 3 energy
Ooh.
because there is a depletion token
Yeah.
here. And I got this rule wrong when I first played it, so I'm going to point this out. If you fish or mine or forage in a hex which is already depleted, you deplete it again. So it's now double depletion. If you want to do... I thought the first time I played it, this meant you couldn't then do it again, but you can. And it just costs 2 energy. So somebody else could fish or mine here, and it would cost them 4 energy, and it doesn't get worse. This token just stays there. And it is going to deplete. It is going to degrade at the end of the day. But I thought once this was there, you couldn't fish again, but actually you can. So I'm fishing.
Come on.
I mean, I'm happy if you want to play simultaneously.
Yep.
That while I'm fishing, do you want to do something else?
Yeah, but well, I would, but except that I'm going to be fishing as well. So.
Okay. But does Chris
I
want to
can
do
do
that?
that.
Oh, yeah.
But then, if you want to give me
Is
the
that gonna-
book, I can.
I
read
will
it
give you
while
the book.
you're,
I will do my fishing, but I'll keep quiet.
Is that going to cost you energy to do
No,
that?
No.
it doesn't cost energy, but you read 6. You can spend 3 lore,
Spend 3 lore.
and you read 16.
Okay.
Meanwhile, I'm fishing.
The walking spires tread grinds forest to dust. Yet you have seen something that it seems to fear, something that makes you wonder. What heart beats beneath its stony skin?
The walking
Res-
spiders. That must be Brian that he's talking about.
Yeah. Resolve the first that you're able. A. Your observation reveals something about this great creature. If the Behemoth has an unrevealed secret card assigned to it, reveal this Behemoth's currently assigned secret card, then resolve it under the secrets for that Behemoth in the journal.
Record it.
Record it, sorry, yeah.
So we're going to be turning this over.
Yeah.
Because you've learned the secret.
The secret of Brian.
Brian's
secret.
What is Brian's secret?
Do you want to turn it over and read it, and then I'll show it on the screen when I'm done fishing?
Go on then.
Hunger for stone. You have seen the Behemoth ingest great chunks of earth in search of specific stones. These minerals must be its sustenance, and perhaps they can be used to distract it. When you resolve a contest against this Behemoth, add +1 for each mineral material you discard up to +6. And then when you... As a journal, on this Behemoth's board, you may substitute 7 for the first digit of the code. E.g., if the code is 000, you may have 700 instead.
I decided not to go fishing.
Did you not? Were you not very successful?
Oh, dear.
It got away. I had it.
Did you get an old booze
So how
in
big
a
was it? How
shopping
big
trolley
was it?
instead?
It's big.
It was that big, was
It's
it?
this big. I was 1 short on both things.
Oh.
Right, so we found the secret of the Behemoth.
Yes.
Which is this.
Yeah.
It is hungry for stone. So basically, whenever we resolve a contest against it, we add 1 for every mineral that you discard.
Yeah.
And whenever we are resolving something in the codex, instead of reading the normal entry, we put a 7 at the front. So these here. So if we win, instead of reading 28, we read 728.
Oh, that's going to be better, I'm guessing.
Yeah. So it's hungry for
So
stone.
we don't have to put minerals on it now, but when we come to do a roll, we then add minerals.
We need loads and loads of minerals with us when we go and fight it.
Okay.
Because
Here,
we get
Brian, have some tasty clay.
Yeah, basically,
Nom, nom,
plus
nom.
1 for every mineral material that you discard,
Okay.
up to 6.
Yeah.
So we want to be going to mine.
Or just collecting stuff.
I mean, you've got 6 already.
Shall I go and have a go at him? The trouble is, we need food and water, don't we? But I could properly go and kick him in the knees with my.
I mean, you've got a pick.
Yeah.
You've got a weapon. You could.
Shall
I mean,
go-
I'm done, and I've got some water, so I'm okay.
How many action points? How many
just gonna get
energy
some
is
water.
it?
Do you want to spend your energy to get some water?
That makes most
Right,
sense.
we're both done.
Okay.
I went by the side of the river and I went to the lake and decided to have a nice stare out at the lake.
I'm slightly nervous about doing that because it's going to leave me with no food or water.
Maybe not then.
Maybe next time.
You know what it's going to do tomorrow.
It's going to go that. Oh, it's going to.
No, it's going to go for the pecs with the most characters.
Oh, of course it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
I should have moved.
It's coming for you again.
I need to fish.
It's got
I really
unfinished
do.
business.
I'm sorry. I need to fish. I could be a hero and go and hit the behemoth,
We've got all these things to do.
or I could just stay here and do some fishing. Yeah.
I'm looking for symbols.
Do you have to be anywhere particular to put stuff
No,
on there?
at any time a character may place 1 or more vegetables from their inventory on this
Is that a
card.
vegetable?
That is not a vegetable.
I don't know. It looks like rocket. That goes very nice in a salad. Just a bit of tomatoes and olive oil. What do you reckon? No. Okay.
I'm getting hungry.
We're a few thousand years off that, I think.
Okay. All right. I'm
Pete's
going to fish.
invented pizza.
I'm going to fish.
You're going to fish at the river or the wetlands? It all depends
river.
what bonus you want.
The
So I'll
So
get you
it's
water,
water,
fits the
fish.
river.
the bonus
The bonus at a river is extra water
extra water at the
to the side. The bonus at the wetlands is
Wetlands.
either vine or wood.
well, I've got vine. Let's go to the river. Let's do some river.
Okay, so
River
we're
fishing.
gonna have some more fishing.
Okay. So I turn over 2 of these
Yep, we deplete the hex.
and
Pop them here.
so that one
Ooh,
and that one.
text at the bottom.
Text at the bottom.
There you go. Right, dice time.
Okay, dice. Okay, a 6, a 3, and 2 2s.
Look at that. That's a difficulty 2 with a look.
Well, it's got to be done, hasn't it? And then, 3 and a 2 there, and I don't know, 2 there, just in case I
Why
get
don't you stick
lucky.
it there.
But that's,
Oh.
that's the 2. If that's a 0, I get water for that.
Well, same here.
Do I?
Yeah, it doesn't actually matter.
No, that's 6 because that's the
No, this is. I'm thinking the dark. Oh, that's brown. Sorry. Yeah.
brown.
I can't
Oh,
see
the
my colours.
pale blue is here. So
Yeah.
No, so that's. Oh, I'm going to go with that one.
Okay.
Right.
Right.
So,
Top card.
Okay. So how good was your fishing, Paul?
Oh, it was great.
Remind me. Yeah.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
Well, let's just compare. See who's the best fisherman. Okay.
I'd be careful where you go with this, just in case.
So the brown difficulty is 1. This difficulty is 8, and this difficulty is 9. So
that's not doing
that
anything.
didn't work. This difficulty is 1, so that works and that works.
Okay.
If you choose this line, which you obviously do.
So
You get water, and that,
water.
which is water.
Okay.
So
Hey guys, I
How-
went to a river and I found some water.
how was your fishing?
I found some water.
I took a rod in.
Well, the water was
We were
biting,
bucket
but the fish
fishing.
weren't. Okay.
Right. Are we done for today?
I think so. I'm just going to
You're going to save your
crawl back
energy.
to my little hut.
Okay, right. So day phase is over. And we flip it over
Right.
to we did night phase. Anybody dead?
No.
Nope.
Right, recovery.
Recovery.
So we get
One
one
for
back.
free,
Yep.
and then I'm going to spend one.
And I'm going to drink some water
Me
to
too.
get another
Get
one.
another one. So, has anybody consumed food and water?
The trace token stays. I believe the trace token stays. I couldn't find anything that said it got removed.
Okay.
So Max, if you can just confirm that it does stay.
So everybody consumed something, food
Yes.
or water. Right, night actions. Right, are you doing any more grinding?
Any more grinding?
I could grind some
Well, it worked really well last time.
clay, I guess.
What's this?
Or
Awesome vines.
Yeah, yeah. I've
What's
got plenty of
this one?
vines.
That's clay, but it's refined clay.
Refined clay.
Clay. Yeah. Yeah, we could go for some vines.
Okay.
Grind those
Give it
vines.
some-
It was page 191, wasn't it?
yeah, I think so. Something along
The
those
trace
lines.
token stage. Yeah. The reason why I thought the trace token stayed is because this said once there are 3 tokens in the valley,
Yeah.
you read something, and if you were able to just go and clear them up,
Well, you-
although it does cost three
yeah.
law.
Because you can essentially now just do, because there's 2 options, one of which is resolve the secret and then not giving too much away.
Yeah.
The second option is doing something else
Yeah.
because we've already
We've already got the
uncovered its
secret.
secret.
So what Chris is saying is if we go
Yeah.
here and spend another 3 law, we get a different
Yeah.
result.
Yeah,
Right, grinding results. You are grinding fibre, it's called.
it's fibre. Yeah.
Grinding this material won't produce anything useful. Return the fibre to your inventory. Okay, so we know
Cool.
we didn't lose anything, but that's fine. Okay, next.
Is my night action. Okay, here I am. Look, I
You
still haven't
by
got an
yourself
audience.
again.
I've got nobody else in
But
my...
that goes up to 2.
I bumped that up to 2.
Just
Come on,
hear
everybody.
some-
Come to the...
We should be thinking about this. We should be ending on the same hex as you.
Yeah.
So we can hear this
Well,
lovely
exactly.
music.
Yeah, you could join this free festival.
Well, you could have moved to us, but you chose not to.
Beethoven's 5th racket.
Yeah. So degrade tokens. So food.
Yeah, food. If anybody's got any perishable.
Degrade the degradation.
done that.
Tend the fire. No. Reconcile inventories. Exchange
I'm okay.
stuff. Discard tokens that don't fit. Resolve night cards. Who wants to go first this time?
Shall I go first?
Go on then.
Yeah.
Right. Skyfire. A thunderous crash drags you down from the depths of your dreams, and you see smoke rising in the distance where lightning struck. This has happened before. Place fire in your hex.
Oh.
So there's now a fire
Got a
in this
fairly
hex.
busy hex going
The
on.
glacier.
Choose to either ignore the flames,
Mm.
whatever, or explore the mysterious site.
Wow.
It costs 2 energy.
Oh.
Or extinguish the fire, discard 1 water to degrade a fire token in your hex, or 2 water to discard it. Well, I can't do that. I mean,
Investigate it.
I was going to say there's only one option, but then you can't do anything next day.
if I
maybe
explore
not.
the mysterious site,
Mm.
I'm just going to ignore it. Whatever.
Yeah.
Fire. Whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
Everybody's seen fire.
Well, although my character is wise, wary, and inquisitive,
Mm.
but I don't want to go into the next day with no energy. So I'm going to ignore the flames. Don't try this at home.
Glacier's on fire.
119. The blast of lightning starts a small fire that threatens to spread. Add goal GZ20 to your goals. Uh-oh, we've got another goal. I wonder what this is going to be. Right, GZ20. This is how many goals are in the game, by the way. There's loads. Oh gosh. GZ20. Suppress the flames. Fire spreads across the valley, endangering all who reside there. So, at the end of each night, for each hex with a fire token, roll a d6. On a 1 or 2, place a fire token in an adjacent hex. Literally, the fire is spreading. Choosing a hex with a forest or prairie if able. A character in a hex with a fire token can perform the following action. Energy, test dexterity or conviction to stamp out the flames. +2 if you are vengeful. You may discard up to 3 water to add +2 to the result for every water discarded. If you roll 9 or more, you safely dampen the flames, degrade the fire once, otherwise you are seared, suffer an injury, a major injury. When this goal is completed, which is at the end of the day, if there's no fire tokens in the valley. Okay. Sorry.
That's
But-
what you get for just covering
Sorry.
your eyes.
Does
and
that
forgetting
does
about
that
it.
fire still count when you're looking to see if you get comforted and you get extra energy during the night?
It does.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, we can huddle around that to get extra energy at night.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so that's my night card done.
Okay.
There you go.
What could possibly go wrong?
Resolve. If characters in your hex have 2 or more materials in total.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Choose one and resolve it. Frantically set to making your idea reality. Process up to 3 materials, then craft 1 item using the materials from the inventory of any characters in your hex
Nice.
without
Nice.
spending energy.
Wow.
Treat the omens on this card as additional current omens. Roll a d6 and add this on a
Activity.
result of 4 to 6. Oh yeah, add to the activity. So it's not, we don't add activity, but we can basically, between me and you, try and craft something.
So process up to 3 materials.
Yeah.
That's you,
So
Okay.
you've got 3 materials to
So-
process.
right? So
process.
basically, you've woken up in the middle of the night and you've had an
Oh,
idea.
there's fire as well, so I can process that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, right. So process. Oh, do I want to no? Because I've got that already, so we won't process the clay.
I'm just going to show this on screen because
Sorry,
this-
yeah, go. Yeah,
I just
go for it.
realised this is a new part of the game that
Yeah.
we haven't seen yet. So I'm just going to put these items over here. And I'm going to show you. I'll show you. Yeah, we'll show all of them. Right. So this is what Chris currently has in his inventory. So most of these material tokens are two-sided. And when you see an icon in a square like that, that means it is that type of tool. So it means that this can be used as a drill. This one, for example, has an icon in a square but with an arrow. What that means is that you can refine, that you can process this and you can flip it over as long as you have that tool. Now, Chris does have that tool because he's currently wielding a Riverstone knife, which has that on it. So he could use that Riverstone knife to process these two and flip them over. And you see when they're flipped over, you've got all sorts of coloured symbols on. This is for crafting, which we'll come on to maybe later on. I hope we do, because it's the best part of the game. So that's already been refined. Is that already split over?
Yeah.
This one, this just needs fire. Chris is in a hex with fire. So he could just say, I'm going to process this. This one needs fire and a cutting tool. Well, he's in a hex with fire and he has a cutting tool. So you've got all sorts of choices.
Can you use the things twice or more?
So you can only use... So this is a bone drill. If you had multiple things that required that, you could only use that once. Every time you process, you can only use each thing once. That's why this has got 2 icons. So this card can actually process both of these as 2 out of your 3
What about the
processes.
fire that's on the
The
board?
fire on the board can do any number of things
Right.
because it's a big fire. So which 3 things would you like to process? Well, I think it's your choice of 3 out of these 4.
We do 1 fiber, 1 clay, because if the fire can do upwards and then
yeah.
do the wood as well.
You can't actually do all 3 of those
No.
because you'd need 3 of these and you've only got 2 of them.
Yeah.
So 1 fiber, 1 clay,
Yeah.
and
then
the wood.
Do with the wood maybe for a bit of.
Right.
Yeah.
So then, because of this this night event, Chris can now craft 1 item. Now, crafting normally costs energy. That processing also costs an energy, but Chris is doing it in the middle of the night because he can't sleep.
Again.
So the way that the crafting works in this game, and I'll be honest with you, even though this is a sponsored playthrough, the crafting in this game is my favourite part of the game. I think it's absolute genius how it works. When you craft, you choose any 2 items with symbols around the outside. So you can't craft with this fibre. You can't craft with that. But what you do is you choose any 2 of these items. So let's say we're going to choose that one and that one. And what you do is you put them next to each other, but the sides that are touching must have the same coloured symbols. Doesn't have to have the same number of symbols, just has to have the same colour. So once you've done that, you then read from left to right, and this would be yellow 3, 3, 5, 5. And we would look up yellow 3, 3, 5, 5 in the book. Alternatively, we could do that. And that would be yellow 2, 1, 5, 5. And you're going to get something different. Now, what's really nice about this whole crafting mechanism is the visual orientation of these can give you some indication of what it is that you're making. So, for example, if you put a piece of wood like that with a bit of sharpened stone on the end, you're going to make a spear. You know you're going to make a spear because it looks like a spear. But Chris has all sorts of options. You can actually do that as well. Now, I don't know what that's going to do, but you are allowed to put two of the same item next to each other. You could do this. You could put two of those next to each other. So there's a whole host of combinations. Not every combination makes something. Sometimes it doesn't make anything, and you don't waste the resources. We'll see. Right, so this is all yours. What would you like to craft?
I think, I don't know, did it say it has to all be mine?
Nope,
Or can it be
the
yours?
crafting
It's a
can be
vehicle,
mine as
isn't
well.
it? But
So
I don't know if there's any.
I've got
anything else
this.
that's useful.
I can't remember how I got this.
Because I've got pigment as well, if we think it would be useful.
So I have some treated pitch.
Oh, the pigment.
Oh, the pigment is an
So I've got
actual...
pigment as well.
Okay, so the pigment item is something that you can craft with.
Yeah.
And this means it's a 0. It means you can't put anything attached to this side. And when you're reading the numbers, this counts as a 0. Oh, I didn't realise you've got that as well.
I'm not sure I've got anything that's going to be probably be useful with pigment currently, but
Well, the hardened wood and the flax. Are we thinking
I
bow?
think they're probably going to be the
Bow? Or,
they're possibly going to be the best.
or possibly
Because you've got a good
fire
drill and
making
it'll go
apparatus?
together with any of those. So will we try those two?
Okay, do you want to just pop them? The fishing is done, isn't it?
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
Very done.
pop them there.
In what orientation?
Yeah, what orientation do you want them in?
I think let's go with that.
So
Okay.
red 5533.
So red,
Yeah.
5533. Now, if this makes something that we've already made, that'll be embarrassing. But you are supposed to write things down in your journal as to what things you've tried together. So red, 5533.
Yeah.
What do you think you've made?
Well, we thought potentially a bow.
You have made a bow.
Yeah.
You'll also need arrows.
Ah.
You should gather some extra hardened wood for the arrow shafts, but the sharp tips and the feathers are the most important parts. So it's giving you a hint
Yeah.
on how we make arrows.
Okay.
Discard the materials used and gain the wooden bow item. Item card IT09. I mean, that's got to be good for hunting, hasn't
Oh,
it?
absolutely. Look at that.
Chris has just made a wooden bow. So when you test dexterity to hunt, you may use one arrow with this. You cannot use another weapon item for this test. So basically, yeah, if you have arrows, you can test dexterity. Yeah, and it'll say on the arrows, I think, what they do.
Yeah.
So there you go. Awesome. Now, what we also do is we record that recipe in our journal. So recipe.
Just put back, but
So you have made a bow, which is item card 9. And what was it? It was red.
well, it's either 5533 or it was 5533 because it wasn't 3355.
It was the refined wood. It was the hardened wood, wasn't it?
Yeah, and that one.
Yeah. So it was wood and the fibre.
Yeah.
Wood, star, fibre, star. Awesome. Because you can craft them again. You know, items are not limited to just one item in the game. So we now know how to craft a bow. If we had those materials again, we could craft another bow.
Yeah.
And
You also know the yellow
Yeah, it gives you all of the
Combinations
combinations
as well.
on the
Oh,
back
right.
of a card.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So
the
there's
back of the card actually shows you all of the different combinations,
multiple ways of doing it.
Yeah.
which is basically those two things rotated however you want.
Okay.
Excellent.
Well, I'm going to vote that we don't let Chris out of the cave. We'll just keep him there, so he can
I'll
come
just not sleep and do nothing during the day. And
Now
then
it's your
sleep
night
when-
Up.
time.
Oh, here we go. Okay. Hazard champion. Resolve if your hex has a forest or wetland. It does.
It has a wetland.
Otherwise, resolve tranquil night.
I keep getting the
The
non-champion
tranquil
ones
night.
as well.
Come on, guys. I need some sleep. Unseen sounds in the middle of the night. Flitting creatures rustle in the nearby brush, disturbed by something unknown. Someone in your hex must test
Well, that's you.
awareness
You.
Yeah.
to listen. Add +4 if they're alone. So I get 6. I get 10.
You get 10.
Starting 10. Ooh. Okay.
So you're at 10,
Plus
5, 15.
15. 12 plus is the best. You might be able to spot the disturbance from a higher vantage. Design the watchtower structure without spending
Law. Okay.
swirly things.
Okay.
Law.
Where's all of our structures gone?
That-
No,
this-
they're here.
there they are, and
Okay,
there.
so these are all of the structures that come with the game.
Yep.
At any point, if we have law, we can spend it to learn these.
Okay.
This is everything that you've got, right? We've already learned how to make these.
Right.
We just haven't built them yet.
So there's another option.
And we get to
Watchtower.
learn what? So
Watchtower.
what happens is at the end of the challenge, all of the law disappears.
Right.
The population and the unrest carry forward through the campaign.
Yeah.
So what happens is when you get to the end of the challenge, any law that you've got, you just spend it to learn these.
Okay.
Workshop, did you say?
Watchtower.
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 Right. So we now know how to build a watchtower. To actually build one, it requires 4 bits of wood and 3 bits of refined fibre.
Mm.
And it requires something that a hammer and an axe. Now, we've got hammers. We don't have axes.
Okay. It's a little bit beyond us at the moment.
And it costs 3 energy.
Oh.
And then we build a watchtower.
Wow.
And that's what it does.
Okay.
Okay, but that goes there.
And then there's a new symbol at the bottom of here.
So, comet. So
Yeah.
the omen for today is the comet. We are on the lookout.
So it's all happening at night.
Yeah, the nighttime activities for us, it's really happening. Next.
So increase activity.
We are at 2.
Resolve challenge
No.
events. Check population.
And
Is it
unrest.
0?
No.
No. Unrest. Is it 20? No. So that's the end.
And now it's time for Brian.
Brian, this is your moment.
So he aims here,
Okay.
and then we don't need to bother rolling
No.
because he moves to here.
And he's not quite enraged yet, but he's pretty annoyed.
Right, which means
I
the
wonder
trace
why.
token is flipped over. Can you place a trace where there's already a trace?
Why not?
Well, ask Max. I'm going to check it in the rules, but I can't see. It basically loves this place because we didn't move
Yeah.
at all. So it's going to the same place over and over again. You scared it off, but it's come back.
Does this mean I have to fight it again?
Yeah. Right, determine aim. If there's already an aim token on the map, which there wasn't, it was a trace token.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we just place an aim there. Okay, right. Off we go again, Chris. So this time, it's 7 plus. So you start.
You
here.
can, yeah.
You can. Okay. In fact, let's put this on the other screen. So here we go. Right. So you start here, which
Yeah.
means
Well, we're
a
gonna have
mighty
to-
fist descends. So it's
Ooh.
trying to punch you,
Yeah.
and you either test dexterity or might. If you fail, you take a major injury.
That's the only thing I can do, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, does it count as a fight? Can I use my
It is a
knife
contest.
as a reroll?
It is a contest.
Okay, so I can use my knife to reroll it.
Yeah,
now.
and
Also
you get +2.
+2.
Yeah.
So
Also,
if you go with might,
was there something else that you got a bonus for?
you're at 8.
It's that
Oh, are you
versus-
using dexterity? So if you
Well,
use dexterity...
It has to be, doesn't it?
Oh, sorry, it's dexterity versus might.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're using your dexterity, which means when you test dexterity to fight,
You can re-roll.
you can re-roll the dice, but if you roll a 6,
Then it smashes my knife.
so no, failed.
But so that's 4 plus 4
4
is 8.
plus 2 plus 2 is 8. Not enough, so you take a major injury.
Unless you re-roll.
Is it?
You need...
Can I
so
actually do it without? Because rolling a 6 is bad.
a
So
6. You'd need to roll a 5 or a 6 to win.
I'm not entirely sure it's.
And if you
worth
roll a
it,
6, you're
then.
going to lose the knife.
Yeah, I don't think it's worth it.
So major injury. Right.
Yeah.
So
That
you-
was a bit less successful than
right.
last time.
Now you're going to climb the arm. You either lose an energy unless you've got a pick.
Which I don't.
Okay, so you're now here, so you lose an energy. Do you want to swing to the brow or do you want to roll along the shoulder?
They're both. I think we're going to just have to go the way I did last
Don't
time.
forget.
Because.
We know it's secret,
Yeah, this is the thing.
yeah? When you resolve a contest, you get +1 for every mineral that you discard.
Oh, so, yeah. Okay.
So you've got 2 clay.
Yeah.
So if you really need to, you could discard.
And you have to choose... So
You have
discard
to
them
choose before, yeah.
rolling.
Okay.
'Cause
So
you could have done that last time, but now
Yeah.
you've got that available to you.
let's go
Might
might
against-
against. it.
Might against awareness.
Awareness.
Its awareness is...
You're going
10.
here.
Yeah.
So if you lose this, you'll take 2 major injuries and the encounter will end.
Well, you're on a 6 plus 2.
That's my best option.
You're
Okay.
on 6 plus 2 is 8.
And you
You
need
need
to
a
Just making
10.
it worse if I go
You
that
could
way.
discard a clay and guarantee success.
Yeah. Let's do that then.
So you're going to discard a clay.
Yeah.
So that goes in there. So you're at 6 plus 2 plus another 1. Yeah. So even if you roll a 1, right, you've done it.
Cool.
So now you don't have the option of exiting. You leap to the crown. So it's conviction versus conviction.
Its conviction is 13. Yours is 5. So 5 plus 2 for the knife is 7.
You need a
Um,
6.
So you need a...
You did it last time.
You need to
Yeah.
roll a 6 unless you
I could
discard
discard
another
a clay
clay.
and give myself 2 chances.
Give yourself 2 chances.
Double the chance.
And
do
you
that.
can re-roll the knife as well, don't forget.
Only when you're
No,
using
it's
dexterity.
only
Oh, of
dexterity.
course. Sorry.
So that goes.
That's gone. So 5 or a 6. He's
Oh!
only gone and done it again.
Gosh.
This is the opposite for me of War of the Rings,
So
seemingly.
when we finish,
Is there anything this man can't do?
when we finish tonight, we're off to the casino.
Okay.
I'm taking Chris.
And he's going to buy me some lottery tickets.
Oh, that's amazing. So
I would do a re-roll, but we
here's the
don't need
super
to.
exciting thing, and there is spoilers in this video, as I mentioned. Instead of reading 028, because we know it's secret,
Yeah.
we read 728 instead.
Okay.
Right, 728. So you've climbed all the way up to the top
Again.
again.
But I kind of took a bit of an injury to my leg on the way up this time.
Right, 728. You leap onto the behemoth's jaw and hang there. It does not see, but its posture shifts and you know it can perceive you there. By holding a stone aloft before it, you know that you can draw its attention. You're there waving some clay around. Choose one and resolve it.
Okay.
So you can either lead the behemoth to a stony feast if there is a feature in an adjacent hex where you could take the mine action. So there, or there, or
Yeah.
there, yeah. Choose one of those features to end the encounter. Place your character and the behemoth in the hex with that feature. Do not draw a journey card. And then if a character or animal companion or storage structure has an item with the word sundered in its name, gain 2 of the behemoth's curio.
Right.
Otherwise, gain the sundered stone item card. Or toss a stony morsel. Discard a mineral material to end the encounter.
I can't do
The
that.
behemoth, please, placate its demeanor by 1. Or tumble to the ground as the behemoth brushes you off, end the encounter, suffer a major injury.
Oh, I think we
Don't
have
do
to do the
gotta
first
be the
option,
first
then,
one.
don't we? It's A, the most fun, and B, the least.
So choose a feature in an adjacent hex where you could mine.
Well, I think we're going to take it away from Pete, don't we? Or do we?
Don't know.
You can bring it over here if you like, and I'm
He's
gonna
got loads
hit-
of minerals.
Oh, he does, doesn't he? Yeah, let's go here then.
Okay, so you're going to lead it
Yeah.
to here.
You can get to listen
place
to
your
some of my
character
music as well.
and the behemoth. Where are you? You're here. Into the hex. Then if a character, animal companion, or storage structure has an item with Sundered in its name, no. Otherwise, gain item card IT88. 63. 73. There you go. Sundered Stone. It's a trophy.
Oh.
Wow.
Right. There's new exciting things on here.
God.
Wow.
Stuff to craft with.
Yeah, and you know crafting is red, blue, yellow.
Yeah.
These are now
Not
orange
anymore.
and
Ooh.
purple. The
They're-
orangey starry thing has to be placed in the leftmost position when crafting.
Wow.
This is a very, very exciting thing. So, and
It was already good. It's just got better.
it does end the encounter. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the encounter is ended, but
And you are wise, which I already am. When you test any attribute with a value of 3 or less, you may reroll or turn it into don't buy.
after a character encounters a behemoth, if they reached an apex node and won,
Yes.
which you did, you may force it to flee.
Okay.
Do you want to do it?
Yeah,
Well,
well,
you
we
can-
have to,
I mean-
don't we? Because we need to put stuff on it.
It is the goal.
Hex on the. Yeah,
So we
on the
force it to
thing.
flee. Its demeanor goes up to 9. It's very angry.
I think they're going to come after me.
I mean,
again
it's Pete's fault.
anyway,
Pete kicks
so-
over its stones.
It all went downhill from there.
Yeah, you annoyed it by going and kicking its stuff around, and I'm the one who's having to fight it.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1. It goes here. Uh-oh.
It's gonna.
It's gone to Columpton.
The beast that destroyed Columpton.
Oh, dear. Can we see the trophy card up close? Sure. Major spoilers.
Yeah.
There you go. Sundered Stone. So, yes, orange and purple. These are 2 new colours that, yeah.
Wait a
And
minute. You are wise. Those are words that Chris has never heard before.
Oh, thanks.
There we go. So we can use that to craft
Oh.
special, unique items.
And now I have all of the bag items.
And we've
I
done
can
that
actually
twice.
hold.
Yeah.
It's only day 2.
One more.
No, day 3.
And we've properly.
One more and we've completed the
whipped
goal.
it.
But don't forget the valley's on fire
Yeah. Oh well. Yeah. Well.
at the end of each night. We should have done this.
Oh yes.
We should have done this at the end of the night. So quick rewind.
Is it the end of the night before the?
Yeah.
Okay.
So at the end of the night, for each hex with a fire token, roll a d6. Yeah, totally should have done that. On a 1 to 2, no. Okay, we're okay. The fire didn't spread, so we're good.
Cool.
We're still seeking the omens. What's the omen at the moment? It's Comet.
Comet.
Is that it? Is that it for the Behemoth?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the Behemoth's
Day 3.
turn. Day 3.
Feels like it's been a week.
Okay.
I've not been to sleep
action.
That should be flipped. Is that the right one? Oh, it should have been that way. It flips to that way.
Yeah.
These all the same? I'll use the same colour. I think there's 2 different colours in case you've got 2 different behemoths in the game. Right. Well, there's a few things that I want to do. There is a fire that I probably should put out because it's my fault. But there's a mystery token here, which could get us lore, or it could get us something special.
I mean, I can't do very much because I've only got 1 energy.
Oh,
so...
did this go?
No.
No, it did. I think we've already done that.
Yes.
Yeah, there was
Yeah,
1
it
there and
did,
2 there.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
going to spend 1 energy to get 2 water. And then I am going to try to stamp out the flames. And I'm discarding... Oh gosh, no, I need... So I'm rolling a d6. I'm adding 4. I'm adding an extra 2. So I'm adding 6 and I need 9. If I discard both of the water...
Yeah.
Oh no, because I can just get water again.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm going to discard 2 water. So I'm adding 4. And I'm adding another 4. And I need a 9.
Okay.
Should that have gone down? Yes, it should.
Yeah, it should.
Night phase.
But it's still.
Well, wait, hang on.
When does it go down?
Well, no, it appeared.
It
Yeah.
It
After-
degrades when everything else degrades.
Yeah,
Oh,
it
okay.
degrades in phase five, in phase 5, and it appeared in phase 7.
Okay,
But it'll
so
still
we're
be-
right.
It'll still be there.
So I'm only going to degrade it once. Wow.
How many times does it need to be degraded?
Yeah, so I've done it. So it's degraded from there to there.
Okay.
Yeah, you're right. The step of them degrading is step 5, and then in step 7 it appeared. Yeah. Okay. And then I'm gonna get some more water. That's me done.
Well,
That is me done.
I feel as though really I ought to heroically take all the credit by stepping in and then beating up the Behemoth
Yeah.
after Chris has done all the work.
I mean, you've got the
He's
minerals
swung
to
off his
discard.
jaw and everything. Yeah.
You've even taken a broken leg for this. You kicked his stones over.
Okay, let's do it. I'll move in and then I'll draw a.
So
Journey.
you're moving.
Yep.
This is you.
Sorry.
So
you get-
journey card.
Again, you're not going to get to hear my music.
Didn't
Resolve
move
if
anyway.
there is an alert Behemoth with demeanor 4 or higher.
Yes.
Definitely
is.
is.
Wrathful display. As you cross into the area, you spot an uncanny obelisk built with a purpose wholly unhuman. Ooh. Resist test conviction. Oops. To resist fear. Add +2 if you are indomitable. I'm not.
But
So I've got
you
4.
do have a boost. So you
Yeah.
get the boost, and then the boost degrades. So you're rolling and adding 4.
I can't boost that in any way, can I?
By rolling a 6. There's the thing. So you roll again. So there's the 6. So you're currently on 10.
Okay.
That one's the 6 dice.
16.
Okay.
Oh, 22.
I need to be rolling a D&D character here, don't I?
25.
Okay, 25. Well, 13 plus.
I mean, yeah. It's a live stream. There's evidence. Peter just rolled 3 6s.
You maintain your composure. That's all I get out of this. I just get +1 to my dexterity.
Okay, you get a boost to your
Boost
dexterity.
to my dexterity. That's all I get for rolling all those 6s. Okay.
The dice are loaded. Yep, definitely. Dice are definitely loaded.
Right, and I'm just checking there's no symbols on there. Okay.
So you're now here.
Yes.
So are you going to
Yes.
engage the board?
I am.
So you spend an energy.
I've used all my 6s.
Well, I thought
We'll just put it on here. So the demeanor is here. So he's trying to hit you with a big fist.
Okay.
You need to do a dexterity test against its might of 11.
Well, so that's
So
going to be a
That's going to go down.
that's going to be a 7.
It's a 7. You get +2
Oh no.
because of this.
It's only-
When you are resolving a contest against a behemoth, you add +2 if you have a weapon. You do have a weapon, so you get +2.
you can
so that's
also
9.
So 9. And
it's-
do you want to use the
and
minerals?
it's got 11.
You only need a 2. And if you fail, you just take an injury. So this is not important.
yeah.
Yes.
Yep, so you're okay. Next, you're going to climb the arm. If you have a pick,
Yes.
which you do, you can
Pick,
use the
pick,
pick to
pick,
climb the arm. Right, do you want to go that way or that way?
I think I want to use strength against its awareness, don't I?
Okay.
It's got an awareness of 10.
Mhm.
And that way it would have. Yeah. Well, strength. It's both. It's the same.
It's the
both
same,
ways,
but
isn't
that
it?
way goes that way. That way goes that way.
Its dexterity is 9. So this is. I'm actually better here. So I think I'm better. It's one extra step, but I think I'm better off
Okay.
going this way.
Yeah.
So yeah, strength against awareness.
So you're
I'll
going
go
to
this
swing
way.
to the brow.
Yeah.
So it's
Stubbing my
might
toe.
versus awareness. So your
Um,
might is 4. Its
uh,
awareness is 10.
So
Now, if you fail, you exit.
Oh,
You take 2 major injuries and you exit.
oh, that's not good.
So you're going to need to win this one. It'd be the same either way.
Okay.
So this is where you might want to spend the minerals.
So, but I've got +2.
Oh, +2 because you got a weapon.
Yeah. So 4, 5, 6.
6 versus 10.
6 for. Oh, don't like that.
No.
Can feed it a Riverstone.
You are using your Riverstone pick. So because when you're using might in a fight, you can re-roll if you need to.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
But you still might want to throw in a couple of minerals.
I'll throw in a couple of minerals.
Okay.
Those two.
So you're 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
And I need 10.
8 against 10. With a re-roll. Did it.
Yeah.
Okay. Whew.
That's close.
Right. So you
I told you I
succeeded.
used up all my 6s.
You then shimmy across awareness versus dexterity.
Well, my awareness is 6.
And its dexterity is 9.
And
And you've got +2 because you've got a weapon.
So I can't lose.
No.
There we go.
Right. And
And
then
then-
you can swing to the horn,
Here we go.
which is your dexterity versus its awareness.
So 6 against 10.
10. +2 because you've got a weapon. Anything other than a 1. If you throw in a mineral, then you've done it.
I'll throw
I'd
in
say use the clay. Oh, no, I used all my clay as well.
There we go.
Not this time.
So you succeeded, which means we read 61, but we don't read 61.
No.
We read
7.
761,
Oh.
which is different from the one that you had.
Yeah.
761. From atop the behemoth's horn, you can see one of the following. You choose either a rich vein of stone where the behemoth can feast. If there is a feature where you could mine in your hex, choose to end the encounter. Perform a mine action at that feature without spending energy. So you can mine the mountain, so you could do that. Placate the behemoth's demeanor by 2. Or, nothing of interest, your seemingly pointless antics are frustrating the behemoth. End the encounter, aggravate the behemoth's demeanor by 1. Or, a place to safely leap off. End the encounter, spend 1 law, which we can't do, to gain a boost to conviction. So, I think you have to choose the first one.
Okay.
So, a rich vein of stone where the behemoth can feast. So, you lead it to the mountains, and you get to do a free mining check, which means we get to explain how the mining rules work.
Okay.
And we placate the behemoth's demeanor by 2. And then just as a reminder, once we've done this, you can do that, and then we've won.
Okay. Cool.
Right, so mining. First of all, we have a terrain sheet. And this terrain sheet tells us, we look up where we're mining, which is the mountain. And it tells us what we put in the mining pool. So we need 3 cloudstones and 2 sunstones. Now I have the deluxe acrylic mining tokens for this game, but there are basically 5 of each token for each type. And what you do is you put them all face down. Well, of the ones that we need. So what was it? 3, I've forgotten already. 3 of the blue ones
Yeah.
Mountains.
and 2 of the red ones.
Mine
Yeah.
put-
It's that one.
Yeah.
Three blue, 2 red.
3 blue, 2 red. So what we do is we mix these up and then we put them in the bag. 1, 2, 3, and 2. And then Pete goes mining. You can mine a maximum of 3 times, except Pete can do 4
Okay.
because he's got a Riverstone pick. And what you do is you take one out and you immediately get that. So you get a Sunstone
Okay.
and then you flip it over. And if the omen on that matches the current omen, we get to read something in the book and it means something happened. The current omen is a comet. So if you get a comet, let me know. And you can stop whenever you want. You got a Cloudstone? And it is a comet.
Oh.
Right, okay.
Right.
So we need to read in the mining section, wherever that is. It's in here somewhere. Mining chart, 183. 183. So what we do is we look up. You are mining a mountain and you drew the comet.
Yep.
434. So we need to read 434. In other words, it won't fit in the box. So they've put it.
Okay.
434. The light of the comet leads you to a lonesome coral stalk. It shivers slightly in tune with your breath. Test conviction to learn of the valley. Add +2 if you are inquisitive.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah?
I'm inquisitive.
And we need to check the primal cave wall to see if we have the coral, which we don't.
Oh.
Otherwise,
So-
you'd get another +2.
I've got 5.
So conviction is 2, 3, 4, 5.
And I use that.
Okay, 5.
And what do I need?
I'm not going to tell you.
It's a
A 6 would
surprise.
be good. No, so you've got 8. You reach for the coral hesitatingly, and it withdraws.
Oh.
We gain a law.
Hmm.
You'd have got a coral, which is a rare item that we can't normally find in this terrain.
Okay.
Gosh. Okay. Right. So that's the... Oh, and did you want to carry on?
Yeah.
Because you can do 2 more, because you've got a pick. Normally it's 3, but you can mine 4. Well, we know that's not a comet, because there's only 1 comet of each one. One more. Some sunstone, which is clouds. Okay, so successful mining. Now, do you want to do this?
Oh, yeah.
So, after a character encounters the behemoth, if they reached an apex node and won, we've made it look easy with you two rolling 6s. You can force it to flee. If they do, aggravate its demeanor by 2. It flees to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can't see. 1 goes to there. And we put a 3rd one on there, which means this goal is complete. You have faced the behemoth with force and cunning and lots of 6s. But what will the consequences of your direct approach be? We actually subtract 1 unrest. So the population is a lot calmer because of what we did. Now, that's that goal done. So I need to write in the journal that we have just done goal GA10. GA10. Right. Now, you might think it's over.
But
But this says, at the end of any day, if confront the behemoth is complete, 147. It doesn't say you may. Some of the challenges, some of the things say, at the end of any day, you may choose to end the challenge.
Okay.
If you ever see that, don't end it early. Use your time wisely to gather materials, do more crafting, do more grinding, do more stuff. This isn't that. This is basically, at the end of the day, if that goal is complete, we read something. So we don't have a choice of playing longer.
Okay.
But if you do get that choice sometimes, you should absolutely do it. Which means this and this are going to disappear at the end of today. But these will stay because these are ongoing. Well, I'm all I did was try to put out the fire that I accidentally left going. You two have got a bit of energy left. If we can do that, that'd be great. Have we seen a comet?
The only thing I can do really is get, because I can't.
You could go here.
Could go there and see what that is. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do a journey. Resolve if your hex has a forest.
Yes.
Okay, the hive. You see the molted shell of a predator. As you approach, you realize with dread that a hive of buzzing insects may have their home within. Test
Awareness.
Add +2 if you're resourceful, which I'm not. So.
Okay. So 5, 6, 7.
Okay.
It's not the worst result.
You flinch as an insect lands on you, causing it to bite you, suffer 1 minor injury, and gain 1 tooth.
Oh, tooth. We've not had that. That's a new type of thing. There you go. So tooth, you need to drill it.
Yeah.
If you drill it, you can process it.
I can do that.
That's
Okay.
part of
And
the-
you've ended up there, which
Yeah.
means you have to confront that mystery token. So you flip it over. Is it a comet?
No.
Nope. So we just get 1 law.
Okay.
But that's okay.
Yeah.
Now, just to answer a question in the chat.
Does that go away or does it?
That
go
goes,
back
it
in
gets
the-
shuffled back in.
Extra?
Very good question from Paul Kelly. Thank you very much, Paul. I did say that if we see a comet on any game
Oh.
component
Yes.
that has an ID, it has to have an ID.
Yeah.
So it literally has to have, you know, like GA04 or VV03. These don't have item IDs on them. So
But if my journey card, which
If that had
didn't,
one-
if that had a comment on,
that'd be fine.
with that, yeah.
Yeah, literally, if you drew
Yeah.
the journey card and you could see a comet icon
Yeah.
somewhere on that card, it counts
Yeah.
because there's an ID on the
Max has
card.
just confirmed that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
you've got an energy
use
left.
energy to do something.
Yeah, you've got 1 energy left. You can't forage.
Process something, but then
You
I
could
can't
craft.
really do anything with it.
Somehow getting. Have you got wood?
Craft those two together and see if it does anything.
What you want to try and do is get
pick
the
up
resources to
something.
make your arrows, isn't it? Or one of us does. Doesn't have
Yeah.
to be you, does it?
Yeah,
None of us has got.
I don't have enough energy to like forage or anything like that. Otherwise, I would. But
Pete, what are you going to do with your 2 remaining energy?
I suppose I could. I could head over here and.
Question for Max: did that mining deplete the hex? I think it would. It said it didn't cost you energy,
Yeah.
but I think
It still counts
it
as a
still
mining
counts
action.
as a mining. So we're going to put a depletion token on there.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
So what are you going to do with your 2?
Well, I could head over this way, and then possibly.
I don't suppose you've got. No, I mean this all needs wood. This is all structures. That requires 2 clay, but it needs us to dig. We don't have a spade yet, and we've still not learned how to make fire from sparks.
Yeah, we got-
I'm pretty sure it's 2 stones,
Okay.
but
Uh,
you could potentially do this.
what?
You're in Columpton.
Yeah.
Columpton
Yeah.
has a workbench.
Oh yes.
A workbench has icons.
Yes.
You could potentially process
Yes.
some of those stones. You could process that river stone, and then you could combine that river stone. Now, we know from previous attempts that the cloud stones are quite hard.
yeah,
They're really hard stone.
So if I process these 2.
Yeah, I'm just going to show you this on the big screen. So this is a workbench that we have built at the outpost, and basically whenever you are processing resources, you have access to these 4 icons. And Pete needs access to which icon is it?
I've got 1 processed one left. So these
Yeah.
2.
So to process the river stone, you need that icon, which you've got here.
Okay.
yeah.
But you've also probably got it from other stones that you've got.
I've got this
You
one.
might not even need the workbench.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could use that. You could use that to basically bash that.
And then I need to process this one as well, which I can use.
Yep, you can use the workbench for that.
Yeah.
Okay. So I can process both of these.
Yep.
Okay.
And that as well.
And which one?
The vines.
Oh, the vine.
Yeah, because there's a sharp
Yeah,
there's a sharp knife on the
yeah,
workbench.
Okay. And
so
that-
1 energy to process.
Yeah.
And then you can process 3 materials.
So that one,
That one
that one,
and that
and
one.
that one. And now I can
1 energy to craft.
energy to craft.
Okay, and I'll show this on the big screen so that you can do the stuff here.
Okay.
What are you going to craft?
Well, the clever people around the table are suggesting it should be this and this.
And this is me not using any knowledge from the game. This is me using knowledge from
Real life.
real life.
Yeah.
Is that if you bash stones together, it causes sparks.
But I'm guessing.
I do know from the game that if you craft those 2 together, they won't make a
Yes.
spark because that's what made my
Yeah.
grinding stone.
Yeah. So we know they are the 4 combinations that you can put together. So as Chris says, if you do that, we know that that is this.
Yeah.
So we've already done.
Whichever way you do it,
Yeah.
that and that together is this. So
So
we
if I
don't want to
wanted
do that.
If I wanted to make grinding stones, I could, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's already been done. So let's do something different.
Yeah.
So let's try this.
So yellow 4142.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's have a look. Yellow 4142. Yes, finally. You've made a set of spark stones. These stones can be struck together to create sparks and light a fire. Discard the materials used and gain item number IT16. There we go. So we have made item IT16, which is the spark stone. So these can be used as that and that, but also if you spend an energy, You can spend 1 wood, test conviction or dexterity to make a fire, add +2 if you spend a fibre, which is very thematic. Yeah. And if you roll an 8 or more, you can put a fire token in your hex. 1 to 7, the fire won't start, but you gain a wood. Now, the important thing is this. This is the ignite tool. There are certain things that we needed in order which we haven't got, which is, for example, the fire pit. So if we wanted to build a fire pit, it required this, and we didn't have this.
Yeah.
Even though we knew how to make fire with wood, we didn't have that icon. Now we do have that icon. So there you go. Have some spark stones.
Nice.
Very nice. I feel progress is being made. Yep. Discard the materials, get the spark stones. Right, you've got no energy left. Assuming that the challenge is going to end now, you might as well spend your remaining energy. And just so you know, when the challenge ends, essentially the time between challenges is about 20 years. So all of your energy goes, your injuries go. You can keep some materials from one game to the next, but your characters will get old and eventually they'll die. So don't think that this is your normal campaign where you're going to transfer your health from one game to the next.
Yeah.
It's not how this works.
I might as well just process a couple of things, I guess.
Okay.
Because
you've got a drill, so you can process this tooth.
Yeah. And then I've got the knife to process the bit of fibre, and then
right. Now the other good thing is this says at the end of any day. In other words, we don't have to do the night phase.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So literally, it's at the end of the day phase.
Mind you, maybe most productive at night.
Yeah,
true.
I have. Yeah.
There should be a trait for insomnia.
Yeah.
So 147. Through strength, guile, or sheer tenacity, or absolute sheer luck with rolls, you have overcome the behemoth on 3 occasions. As dawn breaks the darkness, you see the behemoth near the outskirts of the wilds. Despite its vast, inscrutable countenance, you get the impression that it is regarding you with uncertainty. It withdraws to its den, and you can't help but wonder how your conflicts with the behemoth will shape the lives of future generations. So at the end of any day, you may end this challenge. So we do have the option.
Okay.
So normally, I'm going to just check the time. It's 9:20. We've been playing for 2.5 hours. We're probably going to wrap things up.
Okay.
But if we were playing properly, I would say we don't end the challenge.
Yeah. Because there's loads of stuff to
There's
discover.
loads of stuff to do. We're only on day 3.
Yeah.
And as long as we look at these events, we can literally keep playing.
Yeah.
We can't. We've got a whole thing here to explore. Now, when me and Pete played this afternoon, the first thing we did was go and explore.
Yeah.
So, and in this game, we haven't explored at all. So we've got new things to explore.
So we've got arrows to discover.
We've got arrows. We've got hunting. We've not used our mantle powers at all. Whereas this afternoon, we used our mantle powers all the time.
I think we realise just how valuable energy is.
Yeah, if we weren't live streaming this, we would actually play this for quite a bit more time, and we would choose to end it whenever. But as it is, we're going to choose to end it now. So we subtract 1 unrest. We illustrate the saga of the great battle. So we get our primal cave wall, and we can actually draw on it. And
orange.
Because we have pigments.
Yes.
Where is?
I've got a bone to pick with the entry. It says you fought the behemoth.
Yeah.
We fought the behemoth.
No, I'm getting all the credit.
You just go over by the glaze.
I get to make the Oscar speech. I'd like to thank my agent.
So basically, whenever the text says illustrate the saga of the great battle, it is up to the players to illustrate that however they want to do on the cave wall. But we must include this.
Okay.
These are the important marks that we need to include. So I'm going to do the arrows down here. I mean, as long as it's near enough. Got another arrow there. I think this is also a really cool part of the game because I've seen some pictures of people who finished the campaign, and it actually looks really good. Okay, that'll do. And then I'm going to do this one in the orange. So I don't know what that is, but do. Looks like Homer Simpson.
I don't know. You're
Yeah,
a
there we
kind of
go. Right.
Stone Age
Oh,
Picasso.
and whenever marks are added to the wall, one of the characters adds them. So, Chris, did you do it twice? I think you did it twice, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you should add those to your character, because what's going to happen to these characters is most of the times where you play the game, the characters are going to get older. Our characters are currently old. So I can tell you this, none of these characters are going to survive to the next game. They're all going to die, and they're going to go into Legend. When they go into Legend, you flip them over and you pop them in a certain place in the game, and the things that they've done in their lifetime will have an impact on future generations, which is really cool part of the game. So, Chris, you get to draw those things.
So our grandchildren are going to be singing songs about Chris
Essentially,
and
basically,
his rolling ticket.
That's exactly how it works. So, including the battle mark and the alert behemoths mark, adorned with the wrath mark. See adorning marks on page 70. Okay, I've done this slightly wrong.
Oh.
It's all right. Adorning marks, page 70. This is a part of the game I've not done yet either. Some game effects instruct you to draw one adorned mark with another mark. Oh, so it should have been connected. Okay. So I'll fix that later. I'll rub that out. It should have gone on here. So this was the... Oh, no. Where is the behemoth?
That is the...
Oh, no. That's the one you had a vision of.
Oh, no, it is. You're right. Yes,
so actually, we're okay. We need to find...
You are right.
We need to find the mark. And they're all printed in the back of the book. So the mark for Behemoth 1 is that. So we need to put that on there. Yeah, Brian's not looking very happy. There we go. Okay. So it basically means that the marks need to be next to each other. Right, we add Festival of Remembrance and Night of Storms, which are challenges. So we want CA07 and CA09. So for the first time, we actually have a choice. So until now, we've only ever had one challenge, but now we've got a choice of two, if I can find it. It's not fallen off, was it? CA07. So Festival of Remembrance and Night of Storms. I'm just going to show these on the big screen. So these are our two potential challenges that we can do next. And if you look in the top left, it says this challenge is optional. But if you do this one, you age each character that wasn't created this game. Which means Mr. Average is going to die and go into Legend along with your two. This one is the Epoch finale. So if you do this one, that's the end of the Epoch.
Right.
Yeah, it tells you. Completing this challenge ends the current Epoch. Age each character not created this game. So you don't have to do this one. But if we don't do that one, we do that one. But we could do that one first. Sometimes it will say, like Arrival, which is the one we've just done, it will say, you must play this challenge next. And if you can't for some reason, because you've already reached, if you've already done 5, then your last one must be a finale. So if you can't do this one, you have to add an unrest. But we basically, if we're continuing to play, we have a choice of playing that one, where we have a Festival of Remembrance, or we do Night of Storms, and that will end the Epoch. So if you think this is a campaign game which is going to take months and months to play, you could play through Epoch 1.
Yep.
My guess in probably about 8 to 10 hours would be my guess for Epoch 1. So it's still a bit of a time investment, but that's it. And then the challenge is over. And then what happens at the end of the challenge is your characters can keep 5 items, 5 materials, all food and water go. The injuries all go. Any immediate goals disappear. So we've lost the opportunity to do that. We'll never get that. the ongoing goals stay, and the map stays.
Okay.
Now, I'm not quite sure what happens with the Behemoth. I don't know if it is now inactive. I'll need to read some more rules about that. But that's essentially how the game plays. Now, I did mention at the start that we're not going to see everything today. I'm really glad that we saw fishing, we saw mining, we saw foraging. We didn't see hunting, where you hunt for animals. We also saw processing. We also saw crafting. We didn't see making a new outpost. So you can basically spend 4 energy, and that energy can be shared by 2 characters in the same hex, and you can build another outpost. When you build an outpost, you give it a name, and it starts off as a village. And then once you've got that, you can then build any of these. So these, if you spend the resources, you write on the outpost what's there. We've also got 2 lore that we would spend on structures. Before the day was to end, we would probably spend 2 lore on something like, I don't know, a workshop or a marketplace or something like that. There are delves in the game. Now, I've not done a delve yet, but I believe you delve in a cave, and it's another mini game. And we have an ongoing goal to delve to at least level 2. So if we delve down, we get to level 2 and exit, we've completed that. And there's also ancient civilizations as well. Now, eventually what happens over the course of the campaign, when you go into future epochs, the valley will grow. So there are more of these. The map will grow the more and more you play. And we started off in the Verdant Valley. There's actually an optional one that you can start in. You don't have to start in the Verdant Valley. You could start off on the Sunlit Plateau, which is a prairie rather than a forest.
Okay.
So it's slightly different terrain types with other different things.
Okay.
And then without giving too many spoilers away, there's special terrain. So there's lots of different terrain types as the game goes on. And you play through all 3 epochs. Now, one of the things we didn't see today is we didn't see the omens.
Yeah.
But I think we had a lot to think about.
We did
just
see a
never
lot.
the right
We saw a lot.
omens.
There's a lot of game here, and we saw quite a lot of it.
We saw a lot of the game, but you're right. There's a lot of game here, not just in the amount of different things that you can do, but also in the content of the game.
Yeah.
And I think every time you play it, it is going to be different. Because this afternoon, when me and Pete played it, we didn't have this secret. We had a very different secret, and we also had a different instinct. And we got a very different result. We didn't even do that goal. We did something else that allowed us to end the encounter early. So I like branching storylines. I like games where it isn't just keep replaying the same scenario until you succeed. I like it, the fact that even if we didn't even do this, if we played 15 days and we didn't do it, we'd read 777. I suspect that isn't game over. That is, you suffer some kind of penalty and then you play the next one. So I like the fact that they've done it like that. But we are all done for tonight. We're just going to spend a minute just chatting to people. Let us know if you're watching us live. Let us know what you think about the game. Watching from Brazil. Hello from Brazil. Max is saying, short answer, 1 behemoth with an active lair in the valley will become alert at the start of each challenge. Okay, so if we were to play the Festival of Remembrance, this would become alert. Okay. If no behemoth has an active lair, none become alert. So it is active. Because BH1 has an active lair, only it can become alert next challenge. There are 3 behemoths in the base game. And I guess you can have them all on at any one time.
That'll be fun.
Yeah. Now, the other thing to mention is this game has 2 expansions. I've not used any of the expansion stuff in here today. But the first expansion adds a 4th behemoth. And it also adds rules for animal companions. And it adds rules for a whole bunch of extra stuff. And then there's another one, which is the cooking expansion. It's called Meals and Myths. And it basically has 2 more things that you can find on cards, which is eggs and something else. Honey, yeah. And it's got a whole cooking mini game. And there's a huge amount of cards, which I actually took out, which is cooking. And what you do is you actually use the box lid and you get the ingredients and you throw them in, and depend on where they land, depends on whether you've successfully cooked or not.
Love it.
And you can make things like mushroom meat stew, roasted meat and mushrooms and nuts.
Okay.
So, yeah, we've not used that at all. If you are interested in seeing these being used, Steve from Co-op Guild, in his playthroughs, he has used these and he has done some cooking. I watched one of his videos this morning and he made a fried egg. So, Steve, if you want to pop round tomorrow morning, I'd love a fried egg, please.
Bring some bacon.
But yeah, we're all done for today. So a big thank you to everybody who's been watching us live. It's been really good to have you there. A special thanks to Max, one of the designers of the game, for being here today and just helping us with a couple of rules clarifications when we needed it. And I hope this video has helped you make a decision about whether it's the kind of game that you would like. Now, you might be thinking, why am I doing this video right now? Because it's currently being delivered to backers, or it has been delivered to backers. And that's because Open Owl Studios are going back to crowdfunding with effectively a reprint of the game. They are going to fix some of the bits of errata, which just some typos and a few errors on the cards. They're going to be fixing those. So if you're interested in the game, there is a link in the description of this video which will take you to the GameFound page. At the time of filming this video, it's not live yet. I don't quite know when it's going to go live, maybe in a few weeks' time. But if you like what you've seen here and you are interested in the game, I'm not on any commission from this whatsoever, but check out the link in the description of this video. And yeah, if you've watched the stream tonight and you've thought that's not my kind of game, that's fine, absolutely. But if you have liked it, then hopefully we've shown off at least a portion of the game to you to give you an idea of how it plays. So yeah, thank you very much to you two for joining me. Thank you again, and we'll see you next time. Cheers, everybody. Bye-bye.